it. What are you going to do over there?
That's all right. Even though you made that joke, the audio is still off.
It wasn't meant to be.
It wasn't intentional. I just heard you say it while I was getting up. Speaking of which, the audio is still technically off because this isn't on. So you're going to have to wait a whole nother second, sir, while I figure out why everything is not working. This would be the wrong time to start doing like fucking hand arm signals.
Sure.
Alright. Rally up. Rally up. Alright. This is a thing that needs to not happen anymore.
Color
Derudo.
Derudo?
You're being the Derudist right now.
You're being Derudist right now.
Those hand signs that I
Alright,
see.
gonna go ahead and unmute myself. And only me. Hey everybody, I'm Soul Rose. These are my friends. Welcome back to our continuing game of Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. I don't think any of that came through. So, hey everybody, welcome back. There was a little bit of some technical difficulties here. Not really. But
no, Mike and Nazi.
went ahead and slowly activating everybody's mic while you're saying that.
Mike Hitler.
Just
You're like, you gotta get it in.
You're being rude right now, sir, and I don't appreciate that. I don't. It hurts my feelings.
I just want to say silly shit while you're walking from the back room.
To be fair,
You did say it.
you did
got
say
it
it,
out.
and
Does it have
it
to
wasn't
be
an
heard?
If a
intentional
tree falls
thing.
in the woods and nobody hears it, does it make a sound?
Yes, it usually goes. Ah, oh my god!
I finally know
Someone help me up!
last week you won't shut the fuck up.
Alright guys, how you doing? So these are my friends, unfortunately. Everyone's
I
here
didn't do
today.
anything.
And we're back playing Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, so pretty excited about that. We had a successful monster hunt. We hunted some things. We got some Lunastras. We did not do Arch-Tempered. Andy was scared.
I was scared.
And but we did normal ones. And we got some gems. I think you got a free element gem, right?
I did.
Free
Got some
element
decent
gem.
shit.
I didn't get Shiza. But that's okay. So, any other announcements? I think we have a D&D related giveaway at 200 followers or 10 subs, whichever one comes first.
Data might come back today.
If that is something you're interested in, go ahead and give us a follow. Like, subscribe, all that jazz, right? That's not on this platform, I'm kidding.
Yeah, well, you need to say that anyway.
That's true. All of these episodes do go to YouTube after the fact, so you can view them there if that's something you're interested in too. Catching up on the last 51 episodes so far of this campaign.
That's right.
And 8 of the random last campaign we played. So,
Almost a year.
yeah. True story. Cool. Alright, anybody else got anything? Last minute bitches, grabs, complaints? Can you just test yourself real quick?
Yes, actually. So I do have a last minute bitch report complaint.
Uh-huh.
Quit my-
Quit being a mic.
You still
person.
cried about that?
Yes! People need to hear my comedic
Oh,
genius.
God.
I
Yeah.
mean, it's not that good though.
It's not.
Ooh,
Ooh,
guys.
fucking salt. Throwing shade already, man.
It's because there are pubes on the table right there.
I don't even know where these came from.
Started.
They're not my pubes.
Still like what?
Gross.
That's how dogs choke to death.
On-
Does he look like he's gonna get up and choke on anything right now?
Yeah. Look at him.
I have to apologize if I sneeze randomly. My allergies are acting crazy.
Take something for him. Fuck.
Whoa,
Oh my God.
over there.
Holy shit.
And set back sass from Lucrezia's side of the table.
Oh, I'm gonna
Do you-
die.
do you-
Unwarranted.
You want some of this Tabasco sauce?
For those burns.
Because you seem to eat it.
Can hear everything. Alright, cool. So
Not your
excellent.
password.
I am glad that it is clear enough. I'm glad I don't have to adjust this anymore.
No! Don't do that thing.
Fucking talk fast.
Kids, calm down. I will turn this stream around.
Andy's trying to throw things at me.
We're gonna play in reverse. That'd be kind. That'd be a good stream.
That'd be hard. And time rewinds. Everyone tries to remember what they did backwards in succession.
I quit.
Huh?
I just
Just get up and nah. All right.
Just on my fucking quit.
All right.
It's the Andy.
How satisfied am I with Google Sheets? Close that fucking pop-up out. All right. So when last we left our band of intrepid adventurers on their very, very adamant adventure, they headed into the forest. I say adamant, but you know what I mean.
We're fairly adamant about this.
Yes,
Some of us were adamant about this.
Until the griffins start starting, and then.
It'll be fine. We didn't even talk about the fireworks yet.
Let the DM do his
Whoa,
job.
all right.
Man, jeez.
I'll jump back into my recap. You guys went ahead and gathered up some supplies from your town. Then you guys elected to depart.
It's glaring. Sorry, go ahead.
I guess I should start from the very beginning, which is you guys saw a spot on a map, got super excited about it, and then just beelined right for it. That is the course of events as they transpired, ladies and gentlemen. So there was a part of the map that was noticeably grayer and sort of like kind of messed up looking, and when you inquired about it, you discovered that it was known as a cursed area where people would go in and not come out, or anybody that got near it would have horror stories about how scary it was. So
We're willing to do that, but not sneak into dude's house.
So you
We
ran
go as
straight
unguarded
towards
certain
it.
times.
Because we won't get arrested for going to the cursed
I
area.
think life is gonna arrest us, but we'll find out.
It'll be fine.
So you guys,
Look, there's a logical chain of events that he's not covering. We look crazy, but we're not.
anyway, you guys went ahead and gathered supplies for your journey, about a 20-some day journey, towards the cursed area on the map, deep within the Cavella Mountains, led by Mr. Ma over here as your navigator. The journey started off pretty chill as the first day passed without incident, and then you guys encountered a massive hornet's nest that was surprisingly difficult of an encounter.
Really?
They were hitting pretty hard. They were just rolling really well, surprisingly enough.
Poison damage, man.
Poison dough. And then you guys continued, you encountered a giant boar on your journey that you managed to sneak up on, cut up, and turn into food. Lucrezia managed to gather some materials from that as well, in the form of some hide. And then the morning of the next day, you guys were surprised by a bipedal lizard, aka the Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
That very smartly Tam just left. Two of our members went ahead and tried to go make eye contact with it. Were successful, and luckily I rolled a percentile die and it didn't eat you. So
Yes.
it did try to eat you. And then as you guys continued your journey, later on the next day you encountered some fire newts that were hanging out, walking through the woods. And then an epic battle ensued betwixt Ma and the fire newts. That went pretty well. So
With the aid of my local DM, it went surprisingly well for me.
it did go surprisingly well for you.
You forgot that they could extra attack.
I did forget that they could extra attack. So, with that being said, that is where we ended the last session with you guys. Pretty much 5 days into your journey, you guys were winding down. You had taken off some of the pieces from the armor of the fire newts, the two that were meandering through the forest here. You guys pulled them back towards the camp that you were setting up, and that is where we ended. So while you guys do that, I'm going to blow my nose real quick off camera. So go ahead and talk amongst yourselves for 2 seconds.
Okay.
Look what I found.
Did you find it or find you?
We'll call my little puppy.
Aren't they, don't we need them for something?
I don't remember. But I thought you might.
We need
You got the thing, right?
their blood.
There's
There's a hunt.
Are you 100% it's their blood? Can't just cut the tails off, or...
No,
We do need
they're
tails,
all-
too. We need both. Though I don't know if the tails are gonna make it back.
I mean, they're probably gonna get back.
Okay.
Even if they're rotten,
Fire new blood. And tails.
how are we gonna take that all the way back?
I have a flask.
How many flasks?
I mean, they didn't really say how much they need. We have a bucket.
Well, yeah, but if we bleed, if we drain their blood, and we take, another 15 days to get where we're going, and then another 20 days to get back, the blood's gonna be bad by the time we get there.
We don't know what they need it for, though.
No, don't we just need to... Do you have rope?
I don't know.
No, I have rope.
What do you want to do? Just take the whole thing back?
Well, no, I was just thinking we could, bleed him like you do a pig. If you need the blood. Just hang him upside down and stick him in the neck.
Well, yeah, but what I'm saying is, unless we turn around now and go back, that blood is not going to be usable for anything by the time we get back.
How far away are we?
4 days?
4 days?
You're 5 days out right now.
5 days now. 4 days away.
Oh. We could.
Now, alternatively, we strip these of their items,
Mm-hmm.
throw them in our cart, feed them to our griffin,
No, we still need the blood.
and then on our way back, in about a month, we'll kill the rest of them. You remember, Lou, it's almost 20 days. Ideally, we'll be loaded with money. Lou, we've already got enough money as it is.
Is anybody a hunter in this group?
Part of the Hunter's Guild?
No, anybody have experience like as hunting background stuff? You want to take an intelligence check? Say history if you got it.
Woo-hoo-hoo.
That is a 14.
14. You know that if you properly freeze that, or like cool that blood, it'll be good for 42 days.
So,
If you can find a way to refrigerate it.
yeah, just get,
We need a barrel.
Hmm?
Oh my god.
well, if we could find a really cold stream, put it in this bucket, and let it sit there until it coagulates. It's nice and thick.
Have we seen a stream on our way out? I know we stopped and got water from somewhere,
I don't know.
Yeah, you've been gathering water from like streams and stuff like that, but it's kind of like spread out.
but yeah.
There's no like particular river you're following. You get like little creeks every now and again that
I'll
come
find
down from the mountains.
shit right now, so.
That's right, now we're in the camp. Let's start a fire.
Okay, we'll do that.
Request from there.
Can we just rub these two things together and start one?
The what?
So what do they do? Like how do they attack and stuff?
Oh,
They didn't like. Why are they called firemen?
well, they were.
Oh, I saw that they looked like they were on fire.
They can breathe fire.
Oh, okay, that's important. That's
Well, I mean,
like, is it like they like breathe out or like they can attack you with it?
like,
Oh, that's an important distinction to note.
I'm fine.
Okay, but so some of them can dig, some of them can breathe fire.
No, the digging ones are different.
Yeah, but like,
Sorry, fire needs stuck in my throat.
did you eat it? Did you bite it?
Yes. Burnt stuff. No, the digging ones are totally different. They're like basically lizard dogs.
Well, no. So if they also want information about these things. So if we're gonna catalog it, like some dig,
Right.
some can breathe fire. Do they do anything else that's weird?
Well, no, the digging, these don't dig.
Yeah, but if you're making a catalog,
Yeah.
there's like diggy ones,
Drakes.
there's fiery ones.
Drakes
there's-
dig, fire newts spit fire.
Yeah. Okay.
And they're really hot.
They're hot.
Like, touch it.
It's cooling off, but yeah, they have a hot outer. It would probably burn you if it was still alive, just from there.
So you can't touch it. Okay.
Finger on a wood stove.
Does that mean their blood's gonna be hot?
Yes.
Yes.
That's fine. Okay. So what do you want to do?
We can bleed them now and maybe find a stream to cool the blood in. Or we can try dragging them behind us. And then when we find the stream, we can bleed them then. But
We put them in the cart.
it's sort of a cart.
Huh?
We throw them on the cart.
I would say there's room on the car, yes.
Alright. Yo.
I will strip them first though.
Okay. Take off their chainmail, shields, scimitars.
There's something
Okay.
here.
Yes.
Is it fire?
And I intend to use this thing. Second, everyone.
Hello, Ben.
Kit!
I haven't seen you in so long. Okay, come here. Mean. Come here.
Sorry.
Shiva!
Come
Come here.
Come here.
Yeah, we are muted. Alright. Shush.
Okay.
Please stand by while your party is reached. It's all
Come
dog
back.
attack.
Hello, yes.
Alright.
My coworkers were awesome, so give me a moment.
Probably gonna turn this back up now. And we're back.
Yeah, so I'd like to
Awkwardly
use,
enough. I'm sorry, what was it?
I'd like to utilize one of those scimitars.
Alright, so you grab one of their black iron scimitars. Yeah.
Put that bitch on there.
Cool. So you grab one of the scimitars, you throw the bodies on top of the cart, and then you guys, I'm assuming, wind down.
Can I look them over to see if they have like anything on them that would point to like some kind of like organized group or civilization? Like,
Yeah, go ahead.
oh my god, I'm moving my next touch. Alright.
This one has the bread baking.
What am I doing? Like, what is.
Investigation.
What do you do?
What exactly am I doing here?
Yeah.
19.
Animal handling.
19, yeah. As you pour over the bodies before they're stripped, you notice the first thing is that they're wearing uniform, matching armor and swords, weapons, which leads you to believe that whatever is like sort of like mass produced, they probably produce a bunch of them and just hand them out to people. As far as like denoting like rank or anything like that, you don't see anything surprising. But if you can make a history check for me.
Oh, that's a 7. Okay, hold on, wait. 8.
8?
Yes.
You're having trouble remember, but you do get the sense that the last time you saw these things, you remember that they have mounted versions of them, and they have people in fancier armor.
So that was just like, so they like make like an army or like a formation?
They have a rank and file system, yes.
Is there any like crest or like anything that would like?
No.
This looks fine.
No.
Okay. I will relay that information. That like I don't think these are just like random groups of lizard dudes that like get together. I think this is like
Yeah.
part of an army.
Yeah, it's part of the lizard army.
But I'm thinking it's not. They're not just like. There's more intelligence there than just like their lizard people. Just like to note.
We fought them, yes.
Yeah, but like I don't know. It seemed more like Skyrim and like they were just like getting together. You know.
No. There was one that was hidden the entire time until it got the chance to jump you.
Yeah, but like maybe that was just like how that one fights, you know. But like, this is
If you would have said something earlier, I would have told you. Yeah, they're obviously intelligent,
Is that water?
very intelligent.
What's wrong with your water?
That fucking scary.
That pretty good. That's
Yeah.
You guys weren't gone that one.
Huh?
You weren't gone that one.
Yeah, no, Lou. I mean, I was surrounded on all sides. I didn't think I was gonna walk away from that.
How many were there?
No, this last
Oh,
night.
that's what I said this last time.
Lou, I'm talking about the time we were taking the Baroness home.
Oh yeah, that was scary. Yeah, but I thought you meant right now. I asked you right
I
now.
mean, this got kind of hectic, but anyway, yeah, they're definitely organized, and that makes me a little concerned that this might be a scouting party.
Or they were taking a piss and they stumbled upon you.
That's what I'm hoping.
Well, when you first saw, like, did you see them first, or did they just come up on you?
It was sort of they rounded a tree, I rounded a tree, it happened to be the same tree. And we were like, hey!
So you didn't get to see what they were doing before they attacked?
Yeah, they were going somewhere.
Okay. Yeah, excuse me. That's not perfect. Okay.
So yeah, we stripping, throw on the thing. You guys want to push on a little further? I mean, I know it's dark, but I've got this lantern.
Yeah, but we don't have a lantern post. One of those sticks that hang out.
She's got arms.
Swing on it.
But we can
I'm
only
not
just
very
see
strong.
We
I
can
can't
just
hold
see
it for very long.
front of the bird.
These are
The
not
bird
lantern
needs to be able
sticks.
to see.
Alright, well,
Wait, does the cart have like?
no, if you want, I can walk in front here in the back. I mean, we don't have to go super far. I know we're kind of far from where I fought them, but the closer we are, you know.
So if we get attacked by any giant owls, that's my fault.
What?
What?
Elves or owls?
All right, so with Ma
Hours.
takes a good like 10, 15 feet in front, holding the lantern out to keep vision while you pull the cart. You hear a little wet slapping of the bodies in the back, moving around. Are you on the cart? Walking? Okay, you're
Wait,
walking
so
with the cripples.
the cart doesn't have like, in my head it's not flat, it's got like, it's flat but then it's got like 4 posts. It does not have 4 posts? Like where you could put something over top of it?
You could put something over top, but it doesn't have one though.
It doesn't have sticks.
No.
Okay.
That was actually part of the talk with
remember
when
what
asked
it
what
had.
kind of cart you wanted.
Not a stick. Okay.
Not a stick one. Correct. All right. So you
We
you
can get a
guys
covered wagon. We just got a shit wagon.
right? How far do you guys want to push forward?
Till we get sleepy.
I didn't bring that one, just for a little bit.
Are we just trying to get out of the
Yeah,
area?
half an hour. Yeah, just a little bit more in that direction.
Sure. You guys push forward a bit.
I want to pay attention to the griffins to see if they like notice any. I'll go in the back. I'll be in the back.
That's what I figured.
Well, I didn't.
I did.
So I'll go in the back and watch the griffins and see if they like perk up or like notice anything.
I didn't know where I was.
I didn't know where it was. I imagined like I'm walking beside the cart, but I was like, no.
I'm in the jelly forest.
Listen.
Come across.
Nope.
All right. I feel personally attacked right now. This is supposed to be friendship magic.
No, it started that way, but now I'm in the jelly forest.
So you guys push on for a little bit longer before kind of settling in and breaking down and making camp. So do you guys want to do that whole watch thing or what? Otherwise, I'm going to skip it. See if anything magical happens to you in your sleep.
Do you want any watches when I live?
Okay. So you guys rest up,
Yeah.
get some sleep.
Rest.
The night passes without incident. Yeah. But the morning comes. Along with that comes the cool sort of morning dew. As you begin to rouse yourself, you can see your breath. The air is still but chilly. There are no breezes coming down from the mountains or anything. Huh?
Mountain Dew.
Correct. But as the morning comes to, there's like it's pretty quiet. It's no animal sounds really going off right now. However, as you kind of get up and start kind of gathering together, you do hear this faint sound of like rustling in the underbrush.
Do all of us here, or is...
Yeah, it's like a low sound at first.
Alright. Now let's pack up camp now. I want to go investigate that wrestling a bit.
Sure.
If it screams at you, run.
And I'll go with weapons out.
Okay, so you grab your weapons out.
And I would like to prepare an action. If anything jumps out at me, I'm going to take the dodge action.
Okay, that's a good action to take.
Should I? Want one of us to go?
Pack up as soon as you're ready, and we'll go.
We'll change gears temporarily to Mr. Theta.
Change gear.
Get it?
Serve
funny.
that bitch.
So the last 5 days for you has been an effort to play hide and go seek against a group of creatures that you slowly realize that at first they were like just marching around town very adamantly, kind of people just kind of get out of the way, confused, but then they started like resorting to tactics like, have you seen so and so? Have you seen this creature? It looks like this. And they're like, oh yeah, you know, over there. And then so you're basically playing like this. Nope.
Pretty well known too.
Yeah, like this like they go here, you got to go over here. You've been hanging out in the slums, been running to the port district, hiding underwater for a day,
Indeed.
just waiting.
You know, I saw him around here.
I swear he jumped right off the dock here, and then you're like climbing up on the other side of the dock, running through the street. Finally, about the end of like day 1 of just nonsensical, you managed to run into Commander Galus, who, as you asked him like where everybody went, he's just like, oh, I think somebody said they left through the western gate heading somewhere. And a little bit of backtracking investigation running through. You discover from actually everyone's favorite Mr. Stately at Stately Stables that they said they were heading out this road during their and they bought some supplies to go for a long journey. Ultimately, you get led all the way back to the compendium, where a older dwarven gentleman greets you at the door, and upon some quick exchange back and forth, he informs you that, oh yeah, they saw this spot on the map that they got really excited about, and then they just ran towards it. And then he just kind of sits there contemplating for a minute. My lady needs me, and then he closes the door.
Did he have a map? Was there a physical map?
If you ask him for one, he would be able to show you.
I wouldn't.
He closes the door, and there's like, you hear like this labored, like jogging. And then like a while later goes by, and the door opens back up, and he's got like a little bit of sweat going across his like wide forehead, and he's just like, and then he unfolds his map, and he's like, there. Like,
And take a minute to study that and figure out what the hell it means. Thank you. Here.
No problem.
I'll give him a piece of silver.
Oh, he takes it in the bra. All money goes in the bra.
That's what they're made for.
And then ultimately you end up following that way. There's a moment though where as you were exiting out, you're like, oh, okay, so they headed this way. Where there's that moment where on the far end of Monolith Street, there's like a showdown moment where like,
People clear.
yeah, people start like, they look. You see them looking at you first, and you're like, oh, that's not.
It's peculiar.
Yeah, it's peculiar. And then you see them looking the other way, and you're like, oh, that's weird. And then they all kind of like get out of the way, like something's gonna go down. And then you just see a group of them, and they're like, ugh, and they begin running towards you, basically.
Ah, double dash.
Yeah, just running away. And
Spider
then,
mode activated.
and then out, just gone.
Shred Earth.
I'm getting out of here.
Oh, he's crawling on the ground.
And using your knowledge of the city better than theirs, you managed to circumvent them, exit out the road. And since then, you've just been running in that direction. Not running, but like we'll say like a
Yeah, brisk. Jog.
night, day,
Forrest
night.
Gump montage.
And so while they've been sleeping, you're just like nope. And occasionally you'll stop, look behind you. Nope. Just keep going. Just like this. On like day one for you is a bunch of giant wasps dead everywhere, and you're like, right track.
All right.
Just keep going. Further in, you just see like a T-Rex go by, and you're like,
Why is he still there?
There's a lot of meat. Nope.
keep going. Very awkwardly. It's covered in blood. You're just like,
Oh.
no, okay, keep running. Keep running.
Right track.
And you've just been kind of on this track for a while. It's going to take you a little bit to catch up to them. I'll say you're a day behind, but you'll get there since they've been sleeping. Change back to the other group. As you're searching through the rustling underbrush, you hear a surprised little like yelp sound, like a, and then you freeze for a minute. So your sphincter clenching. It makes a little whistle sound. And as you kind of like look around, what is your two passive perception?
12. This is 13.
14.
14. Oh, that's where you level it up.
Yeah,
Ta-da!
Oh, sorry, that was my amazed face. As you two are sitting there, you can hear, you see Maud just like freeze by the bushes. It is.
No fucking way.
For real.
Puppy. What's that doing there?
You gotta dodge it.
Dodge it.
Dodge
It tries to kiss
He's
me.
actively
Dodge
dodging
it.
it.
I'm actively dodging this puppy.
Wait. Is there really a puppy?
What is your AC?
Oh my god, what the fuck is this puppy
What
doing?
is your AC?
Certainly looks like a puppy.
16.
But there's 60 of them.
What is your AC?
18.
18. That is what it rolled. So,
Disadvantage?
you are correct, sir. You rolled a 4 at
I'm
disadvantage
not getting fucking eaten by
today.
something that
What if
decides
it's
to
just
look
what
like
if
a
you're just
puppy.
trying to dodge kisses right now?
Puts its paws up on you and just laps your face up.
You're like, whoa.
Or it's like those deep sea fish. The puppy is actually just an appendage.
Exactly.
And then these giant sword-like
Alright.
teeth come out of the underbrush.
Or what's
It's literally one of my favorite things to think about.
That, or I'm thinking like some kind of weird, terrible doppelganger. It's gonna be like, oh, let me pick you up, puppy. And
It
it's
tries to
like,
absorb.
It's a
Tentacles.
T-Rex with like a puppy puppet.
fucking tentacles come out, wrap around. I can get tentacles again.
That is a 9 to hit, 8 to hit, and
What is
8 to
it?
hit.
What?
Just just said to hit. Answer.
I know, I'm
Yes.
scared.
So with your passive perception of 14 being the highest, it rolled a natural 20 on its stealth. As wolves begin circling through the underbrush, and they basically pounce and begin attacking.
Holy shit, that's not a puppy.
En masse. As one leaps out at you, surprised, a second one comes out from the underbrush and is going to go for your legs. But at disadvantage 2, it wouldn't have mattered. Neither one would have hit. It was 13. Sweeps out, and they just begin kind of swarming in group. So let me go ahead and bust out the map and get everybody situated.
A map. The map
Map.
forever.
I didn't draw it.
Green fish.
Oh,
yeah,
but now
creepy
you
monster
gotta
fish.
Oh, that has a
What?
face on there.
Oh, did you just draw that?
That's from when you guys were in the dreamscape. And
Whose head is that?
she heard rustling, and we were like, it's probably fucking a face is gonna pop through. She's like, oh hey, hi, do you live here? And then fucking just teeth behind it. Some terrible dream fish. Nightmare fish. Nightmare fish. I got fucking 0 1 of that. No thank you.
0.
Let me get all the monsters. Hiya.
When I get back to work, my hands already wrapped.
Oh.
My nails are all.
We having wolf to
horrified.
that, boys?
Oh, that was very
Well,
close.
your need to feed the griffins.
Is answered, right? So, as an aside, I saw a fantastic word the other day called the fuckening, right? And
What
it's
did
a
you
word.
say?
The fuckening. It's
No,
a
but-
word.
Okay.
It's a word. And it means that moment in your life when everything's going really, really well and you know better, and so you're waiting for shit to hit the fan, and when it does, you're not surprised. It's like, oh, there it is, the fuckening.
The week between me finishing my job as a sales guy and going into my job as a shop guy in a theater, that week, every day I got in my car, I sat there going, this is the day I get T-boned and become a paraplegic, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, isn't it? You're going to take away my legs. I got this job. I'm not going to have tenure. They're not going to need to hire. That's how it's going to go.
Yeah, you're gonna lose
I
a
was
fucking
so sure it
hand.
was going to happen. So sure.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
I need everybody to roll initiative.
Okay.
Or
Everybody?
flavor.
Or all of them?
All of them for now.
Okay.
Nice. I knew it. We were fucking ready.
25 and 20.
21.
22.
Wow.
We're so ready.
I don't think you're ready when you're saying this.
I do
I
have
don't think
those.
you're ready for this job.
FYI, DM.
Yeah.
I still have and am wearing my boots of silent tread.
Yeah, so you're being quiet.
No sounds.
That's going to be especially
Whatever.
horrifying.
15 to 20?
19.
19. Well, let's go ahead.
That's surprising.
The wolves rolled a
25.
27, yeah.
Oh, you guys are gonna be so surprised when I show up.
You're going to be like an adventure hero. It just is an explosion that you
I'm gonna be Thor in Infinity War.
Oh, really?
Literally.
Let's see here. They have.
Explode.
Ooh, okay. Abilities out.
All right, here we go. Top of the round is Mr. Tam. What are you doing?
One.
You gonna go where now?
Oh, yeah.
The one that just leaped out at you. You notice that it climbed basically up the cart kind of and like jumped up. It's kind of surprising noise. It's just like, you know, like when you get behind you, you just hear like, and you're like, oh, and you just kind of freeze a little bit, and then you turn. You just see it lunging through the air. It snaps at you, but you just pull out of the way, and it lands kind of on the cart and wheels around, snarling. Go ahead. That was mine.
Damn. That was a good time.
Yeah. Shit. I'm gonna do 3 attacks against it.
Go for it. All 3.
First one is a 10.
Hit. No, 10 to hit does not hit.
That one's worse. The last one is... That is an 11.
11 also does not hit.
Damn, you were
As-
scared.
As you just kind of like lash out all 3 attacks, it just like jumps down off the cart, getting away from you, and then jumps back up. So it's like, and you're just like.
Traditional dog. I got you, dude.
All right, next up is Lou.
Okay.
I'm not really good at fighting while seated.
Okay. I'm going to hit the one like right up against me.
The one that attacked you?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
I'll do the 2 attacks.
Okay.
against it.
Make your attacks, please.
Oh, what's that?
Cop.
Is that cop? Okay. The first one is 22.
22 to
The second
hit.
one is
Hits.
7.
Second one does not hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
Here.
Uno mas.
No loss. That is 6. I think.
6 damage.
I think.
Okay.
Yes. I think so.
All right.
Yeah. And then I wanna try to punch it.
Okay. Go ahead and make your attack, please.
Oh. I didn't think right, but that's fine. Like 13 plus 8
Hits.
hits.
Go ahead and roll damage.
21.
Okay, and that's it.
I'd have to do math when I came back.
Yeah, dude. You have no idea how hard this is going to affect you.
8. All right.
We've been diplomatic specifically because you weren't here.
Yeah, we can't have big friends.
We try to fight these guys?
So you bring the hammer down. The first one buffets right off the top of its head. You hear the surprised yelp. The second one, you go to swing and it instinctively pushes back, and then you just run forward and just boot it. Full kick right to the face and just, and then skitters backwards before stopping moving. You killed a dog, you sicko.
You're a monster.
Wow. Next up is Mr. Maw.
Shit, boy. Alright, I'm going to scimitar, the one to my right.
Okay, go ahead and make your attack.
18 plus some
18 hits.
Alright. 6 damage.
6 damage, okay.
And I'm going to follow that up with Punch Buster.
Okay.
Oh, nice. Yeah, there's a couple pages. Like, I know weapons are like 120 I think, or 140.
9 to hit.
9 does not hit, no. Okay, so. Go ahead and put that down. So you bring your scimitar down on the creature, just kind of like cleaving through the upper part. It kind of like ducks down, and as you try to punch downwards, your hand just kind of like punches the ground as it just steps back very quickly. Damn. It is now their turn. So let's bring the snapping jaws of destiny towards you.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's the NWO.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Mom!
So it's gonna be 5, 4, and 1. Ooh.
Is the one to me?
Yeah, we're gonna do you first.
Okay.
That is a 21 to hit.
Oof. Okay, yeah.
All right. I need you to make a strength saving throw, please.
God. 17.
17 succeeds as you take 7 points of piercing damage. It lunges out at you and it grabs on, and as it catches the front of your forearm, you expect it to just kind of rake its teeth, but it clenches down and begins to pull you, and it tries to take you to the ground.
No.
But you pull back at the last second. You just kind of rake some of the skin off your arm.
Okay.
That is it for you. We will do Tam next. First one is a 18 to hit.
That hits.
Second one is the exact same, 18 to hit. Third one is, it's a natural one, a 3, so that one does not hit. The next one is going to be, that is a 10 to hit, so the last 2 do not hit. The first 2, however, I need you to make 2 strength saving throws.
Natural 20 and a 17.
Nice.
You're going to take 12 points between the 2 of them. And you, as the one leaps up onto the cart and tries to basically tackle you off, you instinctively just like push upwards with your fist and just throw it over top, so it just tumbles over the front. The second one grabs onto your leg as you're kind of like, ugh, and it tries to drag you, and you just grab onto both sides of the cart and kick it back away from you. That is it for you, and Mr. Ma, you're up next. First attack is 13. Second attack is that's 24. Third, not 24, 23. I like. Third one is a natural 20.
Oh, no.
The last one was an 8, and the very last one is a 18. So 3 hit.
3 hits. Alright, so first strength saving throw is a 17.
Okay, succeeds.
Second strength saving throw is not super great. 5.
Okay, fails.
Oh, I'm already on the ground then, or do you want me to keep going?
No, yeah, you're good. You're already on the ground. So you got hit by.
Oh, knock you out. It's fly up again.
So the first one is 5 points of piercing damage.
Oh, yeah.
The second one is doubled. Second one is 10 points of piercing damage. And the third one is 5 points of piercing damage again. That's all 3, right?
Yes.
So as they just begin to swarm, the first one that you tried to punch at, it pulls away from you, and then as you're looking right at it, one just comes out of nowhere, just skitters past you, and you, as you look towards that one, 2 more just latch onto your legs, and the first one you pull your leg out, and as you pull it out successfully, whoop, you just kind of get pulled down and away, and it's just holding onto your leg, just like flailing back and forth. As the one that you punched at just takes like the coup de grace, just bites at your side. You're like, ah! You're just kind of like pulling 2 different directions there. That is the end of their turn. It is now top of the round, Tam's turn.
Unfortunately, dodge isn't going to help because they have advantage as long as they
Yeah, I know.
Oh, yeah.
Sucks.
Oh, that's right. Tactics.
Look at us learning things.
That is going to be a 16.
Hits.
12.
Also hit. No, actually, sorry. That just misses.
And the last one is a 17.
17 hits. So 2 of them hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
And I'm going to do sweeping attack.
Okay. As you're jogging through the woods, you just hear like some, and then keep going, and then you hear cling, swing, cling, cling, ah! And you're just like, right direction.
Yeah.
That's fine, right?
Right track.
Right track.
So 16
Damage?
16 to the initial one.
Yep, it kills it.
And the one next to it takes 8 points of damage.
Okay, so as you swing through the first one, just kind of cleaving right through, you just watch it cut in clean half. And the second one, it just goes right through and it swings through him as well. It was 8, you said, to the other one?
Yeah.
Okay, so he only has damn much health left. Okay, anything else?
That is.
That is the end of your turn. Lou, you're up.
I would like to try to hit that one by me.
Uh-huh.
And if it hits 11 plus 8, 19?
Yep.
Okay, I would like to make that, I'll spend a key to make it a stunning strike.
Okay.
So it is Constitution saving.
Constitution saving throw. Its Constitution is... It rolled a 6.
Okay, cool.
So
So
it
it's
fails.
stunned.
Yes.
So
How much damage did you deal there?
Oh, let's try that.
Oh,
Uno.
that dice is
Last-
not
It
treated
is
right. That's the second one I've
6.
seen it roll.
Fuck you.
Okay.
Then I will, while it's stunned,
Okay.
I want to run over to the ones around the mall.
Okay.
And anyway.
So you bring the hammer across and it just skitters off the side of its head and you just hear dink, and it's just kind of like stuck in place. And as you're noticing you're opening, you run across the ones that
I would like to use my extra attack to
Okay.
hit that one with the hammer.
are pro. Okay.
20.
Hits.
Okay.
Its armor class is low and then 20 obviously. So that'd be some shit, wouldn't it?
Okay.
It'd really be confusing.
Telling you that item I posted, or the
Gunchucks?
piece that I posted
Oh.
for the gunchucks.
14 damage.
14 damage. As you run past, I just totally wrote all over
This
my
seems like
hand.
a bad idea.
And then I would like to do my unarmed strike to kick that other one in the head.
Okay, go ahead.
That feat that I posted, I said your AC goes down by 1, but you pick another number between your new AC and 20. And if that number comes up in the roll, you're immune to that hit.
19.
19 hits. Go and roll damage.
10.
10 damage.
Yes.
Okay. You run over and you just give it the good old boot. Just and hit it right in the underside. You hear some like cracking as it kind of gets lifted off the ground a little bit, but it seems to be staggering in place, still alive.
Thank you.
All right.
My hammer up.
Next up is Ma.
I'm gonna stand
You are
up.
prone, so you stand up.
I'm gonna stand up.
You like wrestle your leg free, and you.
Is that an sorry, opportunity attack or no?
No.
Okay, cool.
What's that?
The dragon.
And I'm going to cast Sting.
Is it from the 70s?
It might as well be. Literally, I have to run it 5 times to get it to draw one blood.
Okay. Go ahead. Not the same one she hit. Okay.
So,
19?
19.
Yes.
Yeah, that is. It needs to make a.
DC 16. Constitution 16.
Constitution.
Yes.
That's not going to count because I threw it on the ground. 16 minus 1. No, I'm sorry, plus 1. So 17. It succeeded. So it takes half damage.
It'll take 5 piercing.
Okay.
Check that. That's usually the problem.
6. 12 poison, so half is 6.
6. So 11 damage total. As you wrestle your leg free and scramble to your feet, you bring both hands together and then you just lunge one hand out. The creature dodges the fist and doesn't seem to notice that the ethereal sort of horn or spine that just appears in the air just jabs it right through. It stabs right into it, and you're like, not sure if it's as effective, and then it just goes all the way through the entire thing and it crumbles basically to the ground. Seizes up. We'll just give it that. It's a placeholder. Okay. That one is dead. So, next up is enemy's turn.
I'm gonna be so mad.
It's Puccina's turn.
Enemy's turn. This one rouses from its stun.
Until the end of its next turn.
Oh, end of its next turn, so it's still stunned. So it's going to be 3 and 3.
Yeah.
Got some Houndours on me. Are these Pokemon tongues doing it for you?
No.
Okay, so 3 to you, Tam.
Alright.
At advantage. It doesn't. The first one is an 8. Second one is at 23. And the third one is at just a 20. So I need to make 2 strength saving throws.
Well, they're both 3s plus 6, so 9s.
9s. That is not successful. So the first one lunges at you from behind, and you just prepared. You just dodge out of the way, and it just leaps off. The second one's going to deal 5 points of damage, and the second one deals 2, 6, 8 points of damage. As they both grab onto you, just latch on. One catches the back of your arm, and the other one grabs your foot, and they just pull, almost like they're trying to like quarter you, but you just end up going prone and on the side of the thing. They're trying to like hold their feet steady and trying not to fall off the carriage as they're holding you in place. That is the end of their turn. The 3 to you, Mr. Ma.
Bring it.
The first one's 23.
God damn it.
Oh.
Second one
I'm
is...
hurt too. Can't one of them attack me
No.
too?
Second one's a 9. And the third one is 12. So one of them hits, and you need to make 1 strength saving throw.
14.
14. That succeeds. So 7 points of piercing damage. As the 2 of them leap out, just ready to go, you just dodge, got your ankle again, and you're like, just kick your foot out, and it rakes across your ankle. You're just like, oh, mother flubber. But you manage to get your leg free. The noise seems to be getting louder from where you are. That is the end of their turn. It is top of the round. Tam, you're up. I really gotta make a Tam thing. I still have Zongyak on here.
I'm gonna blow my, use my bonus action to blow my second wind.
Okay.
It's 7 plus 4.
Are you looking
Okay.
for
That
rock?
is 11
Are
hit
you looking
points
for the rock?
back.
I think it's more classically pretty, but
Now I'm gonna
23
do
out of 50.
2 attacks.
Okay.
I'm good for now.
Are you sure?
That's 21 and the other one is 11, so it probably doesn't hit.
11 does not hit. 21 does hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
What you cop up
So
blood with
I'm
first.
going to do
Give me
So I
one more,
know.
give me one more
the
side.
sweep again.
Okay.
Never be.
It's a dodge
I
action.
know, I'm worried.
Doesn't
No, it doesn't help.
One open up him straight.
Yes.
5 to the first
One
one.
with that.
Okay.
I mean,
The one
that's
that
good.
took damage last time.
Yeah.
And then 3 to the one adjacent to it.
That took damage last time.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, your first swing with your offhand.
Nice. Okay.
Oh, wow.
He only has one to do.
Your first swing with your offhand misses. It goes wide, but then you take the opportunity to cleave through both of them. First one catching through like the neck, and the second one hitting the head with one swing.
And then I'm going to action surge.
Action surge. Okay.
And the last one.
Okay.
Of course you do. Piece of shit. Okay, that's 24.
Hits.
19.
Hits.
And 15.
Hits. All 3 hit.
D8.
Okay, that one takes a lot. Okay, so 9, that's 10, 13, no, 17.
17. That's just enough. You just, all 3 of them just meat mash this thing. They're just, as you just pound it into the ground, or into the cart, and then go, ew. That is the end of your turn.
Okay.
Lee, you're up.
I would like to hit that one there with the hammer.
The one that you kicked earlier.
Yeah.
What is that?
16.
16 hits. Go and roll damage.
10.
10
Yes.
damage. And that's the same one you hit earlier, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's dead then.
I will then move up to
Hoopadoop.
the next one.
Okay.
I will hit it with my hammer.
Okay.
14.
14 hits.
Okay. I would like to do distracting strike then.
Okay.
So I will roll damage. That's a 15. Probably kills it.
Boop.
Plus 6.
15. Secondary swing with your hammer. First one you just kick out of the way, and you hear like this sharp yelp as it goes in the air, and then you just bring your hammer down, smash it on top of the other one,
Scoot up.
splinter its head.
And I will kick that one.
Lou's just on a kicking spree all around here, just kicking animals.
18.
18 hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
Why you
Oh.
my dog?
Kick.
10.
10 points of damage.
Yes.
Okay. Third one she just kicks. You just see kick, smash, kick again, and it's and then that one is still up,
Damn
however.
it.
Come in like a wrecking
I
ball.
should have done the distracting strike on that. Oh, I guess I couldn't because that would be what.
All right. That is the end of your turn. Maul, you're up.
Alright.
It's like somebody angrily just like goose stepping, kicking. Get the fuck out of here.
Is the other
Get out of
one
here.
still stunned?
Yes, it is. It's not gonna be stunned until the end of the turn.
Alright.
Well, it just actually broke its stun,
Alright,
but
so it's not stunned anymore.
no, it's not.
Alright, never mind then.
Watch your back, Mom. It's coming for you. Coming for that booty.
Just bowls out to the.
I'm gonna attack this one with my scimitar.
The one next to you.
Yes.
All right, go ahead.
I killed the one that you could have had advantage on.
That's probably not super great.
Lord, Mom.
14.
Hits.
Yay.
Go and roll damage.
8.
8 points of damage.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I didn't take it, so.
Scimitar. As you see it get kicked, you're just like, ugh. And just like. It's just like, ah! And then it just kind of like scrambles to its feet. One arm's kind of dangling, but it still seems to be holding.
Oh, shit.
Good punch it.
You're punching with the punch buckler. Go ahead and roll damage, feller.
Uh-oh.
Only on stupid shit.
Wait, he's giving you a d4.
No.
Aw.
No.
I don't think you're trying. Over there.
3.
3 points of damage.
Thank you.
As it lands on the ground, it's like one arm dangling. It's like snarling at it. You just
You can't.
she gets punched in the face with your buckler,
So
and
it's not
it drops. Yeah.
What's it gonna do now?
Die.
Now on its turn, it's going to run away.
Oh, we killed its family.
Go ahead and make an attack roll.
Yeah.
Attack of opportunity on it.
So, do I see any of this happening? Because I had an attack planned.
Yeah, go ahead.
So
do
as
that.
it was running towards me, I want to pull out that tomahawk.
The exploding one. As you hear all this like screaming and stuff, you just kind of like and then you see it break through running. It's like a little messed up, and you're just like, go ahead and make your attack roll. I'll say an advantage because it doesn't know you're there.
Oh, that was good though.
That was on a natural 20, and then it rolled over. So that's plus that means 21.
21 hits.
All right.
Go ahead and roll damage.
So is the damage just thunder?
Yes, I believe so. It should say.
It just says.
If it deals an extra d6
No, it
of
says
thunder.
thunder explosion dealing 1d6 thunder damage, landing 5 feet away from the target.
No, so the hit counts. So it's 1d6 for the axe, and then 1d6 thunder damage if you've activated the ability.
Yeah, which I absolutely have because
Yeah.
that was the whole point of throwing the axe today.
Okay, and you get sneak attack.
Oh.
Oh my god, you're gonna destroy this thing.
The attack was an
So a
advantage.
d6 for that.
Yep.
D6 for that. And then how many d6? Is this my sneak attack? Is it 3 at the moment?
3, I
it's
think
3.
so.
There's been debate about this, remember?
Alright, we got
I
things.
wrote it down somewhere. But of course. No,
You have a book right in front of
I know it's so far away. So many pages.
Hiya.
Oh, that's a lot of 5s. It's 21 damage.
21 damage. So as it runs away from you, and you're like, one gets away. You just hear this, and then the like all the grass goes
Is it the fire nuts?
waves, and you see as you throw the axe, it hits right into its head, cleaves through, and then just blood and viscera as the neck and below just kind of like it's still running forward, and the axe just goes lands to the side, and it's just like skitters to a bloody halt, and you're just like, that's what it does. Like, that's what it does. That's it. So there you go.
I would like to look around for fire nuts, make sure we're not.
You do not. You can actually see for a distance, but the low, no, you don't. The low, basically, there's like underbrush and trees. It's nothing like that tall, so you can actually see if it was something standing there. You just kind of get the top of a glinting, not even a glinting, a blackish
Might be a helmet.
dome. Oh,
Yeah,
but
like a helmet.
it's short.
Do
That's it?
you want me to look for
And then
that?
the blackish dome is going to come running
No,
towards
it's
that.
obvious. It starts moving towards you, though. Just like,
Towards the wolf.
towards the wolf. Yeah.
Pick
So, yeah.
up the axe.
Grab it. It just landed next to it. You just kind of like, whoop. No blood on it because it just kind of blew it all away. So you're like, yeah. Put that on you. Through the front?
My bondage.
Yeah, your bandolier. Alright, so then you,
it. Weird mustache.
so you run out and you see the peeps.
Hello!
God, it feels like you've been gone for weeks.
I've been running from the tower.
Yeah, you kind of disappeared on us, but we figured you'd turn up eventually.
Yeah, I went down to the bottom. I came up from the bottom, and it was weird down there. There's a lot of ships, but I mean, I guess that makes sense because warport.
Yeah.
So that was fun. And I came back, and you guys were sleeping, so I went for a jog. I went to go see somebody, talking to Theo, and I was coming back from talking to Theo, and then some stuff happened, and suffice to say, I've spent the last 6 days running.
Oh,
What happened? What did you do?
I didn't do anything.
Okay.
why would you assume
True.
you did anything?
I did. Can I,
I'm a pursuit bot now.
while they're talking, can I, like, just make sure there's something else coming at us? Why?
Why? Yeah, go ahead and make a perception check, please.
Doesn't matter.
Don't you want your catbird things to
10.
eat?
Yes.
10, taking a look around, just kind of like scanning, listening while everyone's kind of gathering up and chatting. You just paranoid.
Yeah.
Nothing seems to strike
We
you.
were gonna see a puppy.
I bet bird cats are like a whole one of those.
Do we want
What did you do to piss them off?
or-
The puppies?
If
Yeah.
you don't mind.
I don't know. They just came at us.
I'm gonna take a moment and grab them by the tails and pull them.
Start
I'll
dragging
start.
them together.
I'll help by lining them up. And
Okay, you're gonna gather them all up.
I'm gonna
Is-
skin them and then feed them to the birds, I guess.
Make a survival check with your dexterity modifier, please. What's up?
I was going to say,
I
you said
would
there was a puppy? Was there actually a puppy?
No, that's me being a smartass.
I was hoping there was
I
actually
really thought there was a
wolf
baby
cub.
wolf,
There was
yeah.
a
You're mommy now.
Die now.
Yeah.
So that is a
Huh?
solid 20.
Solid 20, yeah. Taking the time out of the, it's going to take a couple hours to get through and actually peel them. But I'd say that, yeah, you're able to skin them to get all the pelts off. And then you're able to collect enough meat. They're all sort of emaciated, so that the meat is not that great, but you can get at least, I'd say, for the sake of fairness and brevity,
For today.
we'll say 3 pounds per one. So it's 33 total pounds of meat that you'd be able to gather if you take the time. It's going to take you most of the day.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not in any hurry. So if you want to spend the day doing this and kind of like getting the meat or getting the hides and cleaning them and then getting the meats and cutting them up to save you some time in the future, you can do that.
You need extra pelts for your
4
bag,
pounds a
right?
day. One second. So that's like 8 days food.
How many of them were there?
So
Well, depending on
11 total.
we're supposed to do 4 pounds.
And I mean, one of them was missing a head, but you can collect their
just the griffins.
Yeah,
supposed
the
to be.
pelts and all that jazz.
Oh yeah,
I don't know if you have food.
we got some. So it'd be 8 days worth of meat for the griffins if we don't take it with it.
You can have one piece.
You have one piece.
Yeah, one remaining.
One of the 4 pounds.
One remainder.
How many days could we eat off of 4 pounds?
Yeah, you only require 1 pound of food per day for a human.
7 days worth of food for the guys and 4 for us. Okay. So now they have 14 days worth of food.
Okay.
And we have 4.
Well, Theta, some shit happened.
I noticed. I saw
I'm
the
allowed to
corpses.
tell you!
Yeah.
So
What?
we got attacked by bees.
I saw them.
And
They were
killed
large.
them. They were horrible. And then we got attacked by a boar, and
So
we
that's
killed
33
them.
pounds.
Boar. I saw a thing.
33.
Do you have
A
a
big
bag of-
thing.
T-Rex?
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
You want-
Toothless,
your meat?
big ass lizard,
I'm
walking.
just putting all this
Highlights.
in there.
That seems.
Oh.
Yeah.
Blood
I figured it was for
Yes.
We saw that too.
Yes.
I could go get it for myself.
Are you sure you don't want more?
It's probably a bad idea.
Okay,
Lots of health.
meat in here.
And then we found some fire newts.
Oh, hey.
Fires.
I know. Okay, you know how we're on this thing though, right? And like you have your theory about the queen and I have mine. We should let him judge and see if what he
I'm
thinks.
getting to that.
Oh, okay, okay.
So we fought fire
Neat.
newts, and then wolves just now. You exploded one. Kudos.
I heard. Yes, I was very proud of that. It worked out exactly as it did in my head, which things rarely do.
So
I
we
have a
got-
question for you.
Yes.
I stopped by the college, and they said there was a spot on the map. And I looked at the map, and I just looked at the map. I don't understand.
Right. So, Tam and I had gone out communing with the guys, right? While you were in the port.
You got smashed.
Yes.
Okay, I heard about that.
And we came up with some theories.
Take me to church.
And one of the celestial beings that we were drinking with said she was in the church. When I asked which
Wait, you
one,
were actually drinking with celestial beings?
maybe,
Okay.
probably,
It was a dwarf
50-50.
guy and an elf lady.
That sounds like a dark side door.
Could have been. But one of the dwarfs said she's in the church. And when I asked what church, right before I passed out, he said the oldest one in the area. So we went to the Arcanum and we talked to the dwarven librarian dude.
You talked to him.
Yes. And he told us some stuff, and while we were looking, we found a map that had this spot on it that was from an ancient civilization, right?
Okay.
It was cursed, it's abandoned, they built a village out there, and the village was sacked, and like everybody that was there was dead. And I got to thinking, where would you hide a queen that you don't want people to fucking find? She was, and Lou told
The
us,
cursed abandoned village.
yeah, and Lou told us that she got whisked out of one of the gates.
Wait, I would like to tell him my side.
So Lou told us she got whisked out one of the gates, we don't know which. She wanted to break into a commissioner's house, which is a bad idea. I'm just prefacing
No,
this.
but we do know which gate.
Yeah. So we don't know which gate, but this gate leads to a terrible cursed village where nobody returns from. Or, break into the the high commissioner's house.
Wait, commissioner or confessor? Because those are two.
The
Constable.
confessor would have killed us.
Constable.
Yes.
The High Constable.
I talked to him. He
The
likes
high
it.
constable.
We're friends.
You're right. And so the high constable's house, and now I'm going to give it to Lou, so she can postulate her idea.
Okay, so I talked to the father, and he told me
Which father?
the father. He's like the head of the criminal guild here, or like he keeps crime and check in the city, kind of thing.
Remember the one that made me cut the dude's head off?
Oh yeah!
Yeah.
The trustworthy one.
He's the father of like. He's not like a person's father. He's the father of a.
He might have a daughter you don't know.
I don't know. I don't care. That's the point.
We should go
Seems
see
like an
that.
odd title. I'm gonna ask him next time I see him.
Okay. So the thing is, the night that Colette disappeared, he had people all over the city and like doing different stuff for him, and they saw him, or they saw the queen get taken out of the city through the Western Farmers Gate.
Okay.
There is one person though who was a guard that saw her, and that's Lyra Cavill. And right after,
Oh, Cat.
yeah. So
Okay.
right after though, he got promoted,
Mm-hmm.
and he won't talk about what happened.
Because promotion, hush
Yeah,
money. I got
exactly.
you.
So we want to talk to him about, or I would like to talk to him about it, but the thing is he won't talk to people about it. The father gave me some information about how to get into his house and like when it's guarded and all that stuff. So if we wanted to take advantage of that, we could in order to talk to him. Like either we could interrogate him ourselves privately, or we could look around his house and try to get information on him to try to use against him or something. But they don't want to do that. So that's, or they at least wanted to wait till you got back because they want somebody super stealthy to help.
Sure, fair.
So we have two plans right now. So one, we're going to investigate that city because they think that she's in that dark map place. But I would like to go to Cavill's house.
I would like to preface that I don't want to involve ourselves with capital at all. If we manage to get out here and find nothing and also don't die, then I am willing to accommodate breaking and entering while he's not home.
Well, I'm exceptional at breaking and entering.
I believe you, but I
Which
do
is
not
why
want
that's kind of why we're on
him
this journey
seeing
now.
us or interrogating him. Because
Sure. Yeah. No. I know because if you take him, because if you take, as the man who taught me what I know, taught me. If you take a man and he's more powerful than you,
Mhm.
when you're done with that man, you have to kill him.
Okay, which would be really bad.
No, it's just another death in a city. It
Well, he's
happens.
like higher up, so he'd be noticed.
Is he
He's gone.
young?
No.
Then it's not that bad.
no, but a bunch of stab wounds are gonna give it away. It
When
wasn't
you
a
break
lady.
his neck. It doesn't need to be a violent killing. It can just be a killing.
I didn't
People
even
can
think
die.
of that.
I know.
So, but if we take him, and we get information from him, he can't live afterwards because I doubt that he's doing something morally wrong enough that will keep his mouth shut long enough that I'm starting to rhyme and it's pissing me off. But we
Three
can't.
times.
Fuck.
So what
Too much water in
what
here.
do
It's
you
still
think
sloshing it out.
we should do?
No, I think we're on the proper course. I think this makes a lot of sense because this is the best choice. This is easily the best choice to go check out the city and see what's in this abandoned city. Because if there's nothing in the abandoned city except maybe like some ghosts or ghouls or like a giant scorpion that murders people,
Yeah.
that's fine. But if there's like a royal guard here that kills people that come curiously over, that means something a little different. Or if there's a guy that does it to keep something hidden.
Well-
So we can definitely gather information here. I think this is a good point. If this proves fruitless, I'm willing to kill someone.
Well,
for
they
this
think that
information.
she's here.
I do.
No, I understand. That's what I'm saying.
And-
so if we find her, then who cares what Cavill says?
Well, when
It
you were,
doesn't matter.
what was going on with the ships and stuff down below?
Well, the ships is a whole different story. There's a lot of ships down there, and there was nothing worth taking. There's nothing shiny, nothing worth. I mean, I didn't pick up anything. I think I found maybe like a couple pieces of gold or something.
Why did you
honestly,
look at them?
to investigate the ship that attacked the harbor in the sneak attack to see what flags it was flying and what the liveries were on the men that were manning it. And it looks like it's not your typical war vessel, which isn't a surprise because if you're going to attack in the dead of night, you don't want a war vessel rolling up because people go, "Hey, what's a war vessel in the harbor?" You know, so that clearly tips people over. But I got down there and there were corpses. There were plenty of corpses to check out, and there was the captain's room, and there was the whole decks and the underdecks. And the underdecks looked like they were just made to be rode by people. It didn't look like it had an armory or anything like that inside there. And on the top deck, there were some guys as well in the captain's quarters, but there was no Lorin anything on that ship.
So
Nothing. There were Lorinian flags that had degraded that were on the mast that they had raised at one point. But that was it. They weren't wearing any colors. They weren't wearing any symbols. They weren't wearing anything. It looked like a group of hired thugs.
So it points to the theory even more that the king had, this is all like the king's doing, or like this was set up.
It was
It
somebody.
was set up. It was somebody's doing. I don't know that it was the king. I don't know the
Yeah,
king.
king got assassinated.
No, the king, the king now. Or whoever.
Oh,
In
Noah?
power.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's what I meant. The king.
But I thought he was a
the new
kid.
king.
I thought he was a kid when they took over, which kind of puts him out of it. However, through this whole thing, the only person I'm seeing that got, a bonus out of it is Cavill.
Well, is Noah
He got a
elven?
promotion out of
Or
it?
is he human?
He's half elf.
He's half elf? So 15 years ago, he could have
They only live to be the same age as humans.
Oh, okay. I thought
15
he was
years ago, he was 30 something though. 20.
Oh, he was?
Yeah, so he wasn't that young.
Yeah, he was pretty old.
Uh,
No, generally.
By medieval standards.
He's on his last legs.
He's like 45 right now.
So, he could have.
Yeah, he's got a little guy.
Elves live a long ass time.
Yeah, that's what I was
Half-elves not
thinking.
so much.
Oh, that's fair. I was thinking of why the one person from that really didn't do all of this because they're class.
Yeah, Howard lived a long time in his city.
So,
Plus, regardless, even if we find nothing about this at all, we're still going to find a bunch
the
of shit.
other course of action.
And it's a cool city, and if it's a completely abandoned city and it's haunted, we can find out it's haunted and kill it.
Yeah,
it's
I can
still
take that back.
The other
And-
thing.
But then, we could have our own city.
The other thing that he wanted to do is just kind of like call it here and just send whatever information we have back to Galerin and like not investigate anymore.
Well, I think it depends on what we find. If we find nothing, I am more than willing to go to Cavill's place of house and have one or two of you keep watch outside while I break and enter and find out anything. I'll rifle through what I need. We'll make a list.
Which I'm okay with.
Yeah, no, not being seen. Because like I said before, if he sees us, then he's not allowed to live anymore because he's way more powerful than we are.
Yeah.
Which means no matter what we blackmail him with, he'll just go to someone else and say, hey, these guys are blackmailing me.
Okay.
And I know you pretty well. Could you hang them, please? And they'll go, oh, of course I will. For you, Judge, no problem.
It's probably pretty unlikely that he's a sympathizer. He's like, oh, I've been waiting years to tell somebody this.
Yeah, no.
How would they hang you?
I would like to see them try.
Okay.
Also because I have a student at the Arcanum working on a flight bill for me.
I imagine something involving a hook.
Yeah, through the leather pouch. It won't do anything, but I'll play dead so they bury me. Like I said,
So
I'll go down.
if we
I'll let it go down, but I'll just crawl out and go home later.
so we're gonna go look in his place for information about him. We're gonna try to avoid him altogether.
Or any information he might have. Many powerful men keep journals. Many powerful men keep trophies, things like that.
So if we can't find any information, then what do we do?
I feel like that's what we call it.
We tell the Duke, bro, we tried everything.
We don't try to
If
push him.
If we try to push Cavill, he has more power than us.
Push him and kill him.
No. You push. No, I'm saying you were talking about interrogation. You
Right.
strap a man to a chair.
Right.
You cut off a finger or two to get information out of him. You can't let him live past that point
Right.
because people get really personal.
Is that an option at all for us? Is what I'm asking.
Probably not. I don't think we're invested enough in this Colette thing. There's a kingdom in place. There's people ruling, and I don't know that anything that we do personally will overthrow that. Now the Duke is another matter. If he wants to change that whole situation, I don't care who's in charge.
Yeah, that's
I
a
don't
whole nother
care
matter.
who rules the realm. I
Well-
don't care who owns that castle. It doesn't matter to me. But
So what if he offers us additional incentives?
well, then maybe we'll talk about that at the time.
Okay, so right
Let's
now
go.
just go look in his house.
I
Yes.
think that on the whim of curiousness and curiosity,
Mhm.
that's as far as we can go.
Yeah.
But for added reward, very possibly, I'd kill a man for a certain amount of money.
If we find something in his
We'll
house,
find out.
we'll go from there.
Precisely, and if that thing allows us to find the queen, I guess she is,
Former.
but technically still the queen.
I
Yeah.
figured that's what you were doing.
Then
What is this thing? He just slips out.
Just like stuck there, like.
I
Alright.
am suffocating.
yeah.
Just This looks miserable.
Slowly
They
slide.
tend to
Well,
come
I
out
just,
in the
I
dead,
just
right?
pictured somebody hooked him through his bottom pocket,
Yeah.
and he just had his tongue lolling out.
I'm like, aw, Mike was asking.
I pictured him just getting hooked in, like they took
Okay.
a giant fish hook, hook him in the mouth, and just string him up like that.
Oh, see, I see that too. That's what I
They're
thought.
like, we're gonna cut you till you bleed. Good luck. There's nothing happening here.
All the ice cream just pours out.
No.
But yeah, no, I think that this borders on the same theory that stupid blacksmith girl had in the Duke's city, where she said that the Duke, had taken her father far away and was making him do things against her will, and then he was like, no, I just had him in a clearing out in the woods near the front because magic, and we were willing to accept that as truth because it probably is the truth. And if it's not the truth, the only person that gets hurt is that old man and that girl, and not really even the girl because she didn't know. And in this case, it's a much larger thing. But I don't know who the queen is, and I don't know that the Duke is any more fit to rule than the current king.
Or my worry was that he's just trying to start some kind of trouble.
Given what we have already learned, I highly doubt that. I imagine that he, from what I understand of people, he is a concerned brother, and he's worried. You know, his sister was in the uprising, and everyone was willing to tell the man that his sister was not dead. But then that was all they told him. And I've heard that people bear a very strong bond to their siblings.
I'm the only child.
Alright, so
Interesting.
is your mother dead? I don't have siblings.
think
There are
I don't
others that
maybe.
look like me though. But I share no bond with them. But I've heard that siblings, like those ugly, terrible elephant people that you were dealing with, the small ones
Oh,
that came in
you
with
are?
the thing. Sure.
Sure.
When you went to the wrong place for bad
That wasn't
reasons. Then I'm not talking about you.
We're
I'm talking to people that went there.
familiar with what you're talking about.
Nobody went?
No, you were the only one.
No, I didn't.
No, he didn't go.
Everybody from that.
He's gone. Wow, everyone from there is gone.
One moment.
This is a calibrate.
We're calculating.
Zodiac was the last one.
None of you went there. Disregard.
I
No,
know.
none went. But there was the other one, Ciliana. She
You saw them.
She went and lived with
Saw
them.
We understand what
Yeah, but they had siblings, and there's also tales of brothers, heroic brothers that went and saved their brother or their sister or their mother or fucked their mother and killed their, I don't know. I've read a lot of stories.
Wait,
But-
they fucked their father or?
Only to a
The
certain
mother killed the
dominance.
father.
Oh.
But
And fuck the
it's a
son.
known thing among humans that they bond, they get close, they
And do weird
make
things.
family, and family is
You're
an
half of
important
those.
thing. So I imagine that the Duke is simply concerned that his sister is, that something's happened to her, and I think it's have you ever met a parent that lost a child either to animals in the woods or on a trip or anything like that, where the child disappeared and was never seen again?
Alligator. I have seen a mother lift a cart off a baby.
Sure.
Why was the cart on a
But that's-
baby?
It's a cart.
It was on
He
the
just
It
tried a
flipped
couple of
out
times
like
and
Oregon
lifted it.
Trail.
It's
No,
not a big
she
deal.
by herself. She was like, oh.
Yeah, I can lift a cart if I need to.
Oh.
It's a fact.
Um,
But those people would rather find out that their child has passed away than never
some kind of
find out.
revolution.
Precisely.
Okay,
And I think that's what he's desperate for. I think he'd be happy to know that his sister is still alive and kept somewhere. Maybe depends on how crazy she is. If she is,
Oh, that's the other thing too, is everybody in town kept saying she was crazy, like all the townspeople. But
I heard a little bit about it.
so that was like the theory that was like kind of fed everybody.
Okay, but to be fair, how much attention do you pay to crazy people?
Oh, and they all think that she's still in the castle.
Yes. How much attention do you pay to crazy people
I think
this
though,
one was heaven head.
as a society in general?
well, I think
That's easier.
for people, like if they, nobody saw her, but if they heard that she was crazy, they wouldn't want to deal with her.
there's that. But also, we don't pay attention to crazy people. We have houses that we put them in. We sequester them in houses, and we assume the people in there are working and feeding and taking care of them. And that's about the most we do. So if people heard that she was crazy, they would go, "Oh my, what a shame." And then they'd be like, "That's fine, she's nuts in a tower," and then forget about it. So it might have been a very elaborate story. To
Yeah, that's
cover
what I'm
it up.
saying. Is like it kind of supports that the
There was. Have you heard the tale of the barber? There's a tale of a barber. He's a crazy man, and he killed many people. It's an urban legend that I've heard many times.
I'm gonna go get some fire.
Performed in some places. But in it, his daughter is lost to him, and they have hidden her in, I don't know what you call them, the houses for crazy people, but they put her in one of those where no one would look.
But so I was saying that like the whole crazy thing was like a rumor that got spread, like you were saying, that like then like I feel like that kind of supports that like something else was going on.
Well, yeah, I think clearly something else is going on. Otherwise, we should be scaling towers in the castle. And oh my God, did I tell you about the knives? So when I stayed over at the castle, when everybody else left and I sat in the garden, I watched things happen, and they went into lockdown. Because the guy was at the gate. That's what it was. There's a guy at the gate you guys told me about. He showed up with like arrows in him or something.
Yep.
Um,
That was the lizard people.
yeah, but so unfortunately that happened at the end of that party because I was still in there hiding, trying to be stealthy, and then suddenly they went high alert, which is not good for somebody hiding. And there were people that threw knives like tomahawk. They threw it, but when it hit, they were there.
I want to get one. You're not there.
He's everywhere.
There's just like the face in the sky going, whoa. It's like floats
I'm
away.
sorry.
Alright, so
Well, as interesting as all of that is,
What I'm saying is, scaling the walls in the towers of the castle and knocking on doors and hoping we find a crazy queen is a bad plan.
that's not one of the plans.
I understand that.
Whose Liz?
That's the plan if we listen to what the townspeople say.
Oh yeah, no.
I
thought about it, but I didn't think it was a good idea.
It's a terrible idea. It's literally
It's a
one of
terrible
the worst ideas.
It was an idea.
It shouldn't even be
Not a
an
plan,
idea.
it's an idea.
It should be the joke plan that we come up with to make fun of while we plan for the real plan.
Alright.
Because that plan should have a subtitle. It should say "Plan Stupid" and then semicolon
the not plan.
death.
Okay.
Stupid
so,
death.
What do you want to do now? Are you tired from running? I don't know.
You have a cart. I'm gonna sleep on the back of the cart, and I'm gonna climb
There
over
are
the
some
back of the
dead
cart.
lizard people
and go to
next to
sleep.
you, though, just
Just
to let
lay
you
there.
know.
I don't care
They're
what's in there.
squishy.
Just lay next to them.
Yeah.
Oh,
You guys managed to get all your pelts. You managed to collect all your meats. By the end, there's just a pile
Were
of
you
like
saving pelts for
viscous
that?
bones and
Okay.
viscera, entrails stacked up for
Weird question.
for days.
Are these pelts any stronger than the boar pelt? Like,
No,
so
no. In
they're
terms
just-
of
we
like
can make
dense
pelts out of
material,
them. I
you
feel
can
like
make
we
some
can
good
do
stuff
those.
out of it.
We can make some nice stuff out of them.
Okay, so we'll save the pelts.
You
Or we
make
can
nice
sell
stuff
them.
out of the lizard people. You know how rain repellent things would be? Theta says dreaming.
Oh.
Remember that hurricane?
Oh,
These would
you
have been
know.
nice in that hurricane.
They already are
Look at
skinned.
this.
They've already been skinned.
Huh?
They've already been skinned.
The-
All the pelts have been
no,
collected.
No, the dragon people. Or the lizard
The lizard people?
Yeah, we didn't do anything to them.
Jesus. All right, fine.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm in the thing and I'm poking the lizard
Yeah.
people under me going, these would have been great in a hurricane.
Well, so, yeah, we gotta leave them
Well,
like,
that's
alone
skinny
right
like
now.
a fucking dwarf. You're a monster.
They're not people.
I'll do it.
No, we gotta leave
Wait, the
them
dwarf?
alone now. Alright,
Whatever.
so we
Go
skip
sleep
things.
there. Okay.
We're going to sleep now?
I'm very tired. And I'm going to take like
I'm
a
staying.
long rest and a
Alright,
half.
stay up. Are we going
Maybe
or-
2 long rests.
2 long rests. So many long
It
rests.
took all day to skin that shit out. We didn't get any.
All night. No!
We should probably move.
What's that sound?
That's the lizard.
Oh.
I believe his name is Days. We left some entrails for him.
I can't do the joke
car.
again.
Wait.
Huh?
I can't do the joke again. The recorder thing.
What do you mean?
I just
Oh.
What do you mean?
Oh god, are we gonna have a chase scene?
Are you talking about the big thing with the blood on its face?
Uh,
You left some entrails for it.
Well, just here, but it smells them. So we should probably.
Yeah.
Griffins fly!
Do you know what?
I don't know.
Because that sounds an awful lot like we let a trail to ourselves.
We did.
Yeah.
That's why we're leaving.
Why?
It took a really long time to felt. We're going.
We're moving.
We are obviously
Yeah.
moving. I got it.
Okay.
Yeah,
In case
you
know
basically
what's
fed it
wrong.
once and then you fed it again. So,
Are we taming a T-Rex?
no, you're not.
Okay.
How do you know?
Have you ever seen the movie We're Back?
A dinosaur story.
I
You
have.
have cereal.
No, I have. Okay, it's a really long story, but yeah, I kind of have it. I
I
have.
know.
Have you seen the first 10 minutes of it?
No. I wanted to watch it, and my aunt wanted to watch Chucky, so she just
Chat.
fast forwarded through the whole movie
Crucified.
and was like, "Oh, it's done." So I didn't get to see
It's
it.
the difference.
Well, we're gonna watch it then
At
because
the-
it's a
yes.
fantastic
I have
film.
I have a digital copy.
fucking love
it.
It's fantastic.
It's like one of my favorite movies.
No,
So-
you just got to turn back the clock.
So in the very beginning, oh god, don't get us started. In the beginning of the movie, there's a T-Rex, and they need to make him smarter, so they give him cereal that has a special serum in it that makes his brain
Is it
bigger.
the
Because
flowers for
otherwise,
Algernon?
No.
Oh no!
almost.
There's
Did
no
I get-
circus in Flowers for Algernon.
No, no. Make it intelligent and not intelligent, and you're
No.
not sad.
Sort of.
Ish.
Flowers for Algernon.
With that.
It doesn't have the same resolution. You'll be very happy with the end. Of it.
Okay, good. Alright. Thank you.
It's a 90s animated cartoon
It's fantastic.
with songs about dinosaurs.
Okay.
And a kid in New
Are we
York
watching
City.
that tonight?
Yeah.
Before
Fucking
It's 100% worth it.
It's
I
we're
can't
getting
get
any
any
more derailed, we're running.
Oh shit! Yeah,
We
yeah.
are
It's
running
too
for your
small.
No,
back.
wait. Are we taming this thing? Oh, we can't tame it.
No, we're effectively giving it a free meal. There's a very large difference.
Can we consider taming?
Go ahead. Go for it.
By all means.
Mechanically, it is possible. It is very
He planted the
unlikely.
seed hope in the garden.
Do you remember the Knicks?
Yeah.
From the, yeah.
Ow.
I'll ponder this as we go.
Please do.
So you guys are running as you occasionally, as you guys are like pulling out and
Okay.
going, you feel the carts kind of like as you take off because it seems to be.
Keep it steady. I'm
Are
trying to
you taking a
sleep.
break at all or not?
We are going to be taking a break very shortly. So, do you guys have anything specifically you'd like to do? Because otherwise, I'm going to be
Rest.
fast forwarding.
Yeah, it is for us, but
No, just our
I'm also.
guide. I'll guide. He'll hunt.
Okay.
She'll
I'm just
draw
gonna
map.
do staff at bird.
Yeah.
I'm gonna sleep for like a solid
fine, yeah.
18 hours.
As well.
That's it.
Oh wait, did we rested? Is that what we said?
Well, we're moving first, then we'll rest.
Okay, we are going to go down for a second. We're going to take a break, use the bathroom, get some drinks and all that stuff. So, thanks so much for hanging out and stuff. Hope you guys are having fun. We're going to do some fast forwarding and some, we'll gloss over some of the travel that's not necessarily important. So, bear with us. We'll be right back. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. If you are enjoying the stream and you're not a follower, go ahead and do that. We are doing a D&D relay giveaway at 200 followers or 10 subs, whichever comes first. So if that's something you're interested, go ahead and do that. Otherwise, I'm going to disappear off camera for a moment so I can go ahead and bring us over to the break screen. So, whoop, 1 second, be right back. Oh, we disappeared.
Because mine's in there too. Like we couldn't hold our mouse, so I just left it in the bag for now.
It's fine. Spartacus are not the same thing. Spartacus was a general, and when the enemy came and captured his army, they came looking for him. And they said, "We will take Spartacus." And the man, he
Stood up.
begrudgingly stood up and he said, "I'm Spartacus." And then his first general stood up and said,
Oh,
"I'm Spartacus."
nice.
And then every motherfucker in that army stood up and said, "I'm Spartacus."
They take him away.
No,
Yeah,
they
no.
killed everybody.
Yeah.
They're all dead.
I hate Seb.
I mean, they're dead now anyway. It was forever ago.
I know.
That was probably a lie written by, like, Aristotle.
I went to see 300 and I
Losers
forgot,
addiction.
like, what the
Yeah,
ending was,
yeah.
and then when it
Nobody
dawned on me,
lives.
I was like, no!
Did you know that
I think it's not with
in
you.
Assassin's Creed Odyssey, you start off playing as Leonidas?
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah. Yeah, I just watched Jack play it.
I thought you just played as a Spartan.
He was Leonidas.
Well, spoiler warning. The 300 actually was 300 plus like 4,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not
They all
just.
died, though?
Yeah.
Yeah, they all died. And really, the only reason they were even able to hold the
Sadder.
ground that long was because there was a naval battle going on where the Persian army couldn't actually get to the hot gates from the other side.
History.
So if the Athenians hadn't actually held the gate, held the other side of the navy, then they would have never had a 300 stand. It would have been, we're doing so good, like from the back. We're so badass. And
History's gonna
I mean, if you look at like just the metal composition of armor and shields, you couldn't stop what was coming. Like,
Hoplite was Hoplite was so unbelievably advanced for its time that when the Persian army clashed against it, they couldn't break the shields. They couldn't figure out why while they were using wicker shields and just getting shredded. And they were like, wow, our armies keep getting murdered. How does that work? Anyway, so with that being said, we jump back into our narrative. You fleeing from the oncoming Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Oh, fuck. I wanted to ask you during the break about mechanics.
Same thing that they were before.
Speed it, like.
You're going to have to find something to get its attention, hopefully not have it attack you immediately. And if it doesn't, you might be able to lure it in. If it nips you, though, you will die immediately. It's not.
Best case.
It's
what's
not.
What's its base bite attack?
It's
Oh, we talked about
fucking
this, yeah.
60-12 or some shit.
Yeah, okay. that's
Best
all I
case
need.
scenario.
Man, if I
we
didn't
will
care about
just
this
be
character, I
mistaken.
would so fucking do it. Damn.
Not to say that it's not
Like, if it was a
possible.
one shot, fuck yeah.
There would be a lot of things you could probably do to like hedge it in your favor, but you'd have to be pretty creative.
Like,
I bet a fly belt would probably help.
Huh?
I'll think on this.
Go
Can
ahead
I
and
do
think
a
on it.
check to think about
No.
this? Damn.
With that being said, what was your roll for navigating?
Survival, right?
Yes.
24.
24.
Nice.
23.
23.
We got
Good.
an 8 last time.
So, with that being said, for the next remainder, you'd be able to gather food for everybody, and you'll keep everybody on course for
Plus we
this.
got all that nice
Do you
hot
want to
wood.
gather food for everybody or just you?
He's doing it for everybody.
Okay.
The roll determines how much food he finds.
Yeah,
Okay.
He did enough. That's high enough for him to get stuff for everybody.
be a great provider.
Thanks, Dad.
Thanks, Dad.
I don't love any of you.
Eat your peas.
So, with that being said,
Damn.
the days continue relatively uninteresting as you make your way through the Alavrin mountainside itself. You're still going through the Orador forest, keeping close to the sort of like northern edge of the Cavella Mountains. As you guys continue your travel, the days and nights kind of blend together in like a haze of just like, okay, he's finding food, you're trying to keep you on track as best as possible.
High road hypnosis.
Yeah, it's kind of just like, you guys chat, the stuff that you discussed during the break, you've all shared with one another.
Mainly, I'll share that with stream too, because I moved my note cards and I found my notes, which is that there was a merchant. It was a merchant galleon. It was flying undercover. I found a black coat with brass closures on it that were not anything special on the captain. It didn't seem like it was anything noteworthy or anyone important. And then there were bodies below decks, and none of them were wearing any kind of uniform whatsoever. They just like slaves man there to man the oars. Then I found myself a nice spyglass and a sextant, which if you were watching back when I was here, that happened. And there was nothing Lorinian in the captain's quarters. There was no map of home. There was no books from scholars. There was no seal of the king or queen or whatever rules Lorin.
It's a president.
President. There's no seal of the president of Lorin. And then the symbol on the flag was from a distance Lorinian, but up close it was certainly not from Lorin. It looked like a counterfeit that had been created. So
Nefarious plots.
Quite.
Nefarious plots unfold.
And that's pretty much all we should during the break, to be honest with you.
Episode name: Nefarious plots unfold.
There you go.
So you guys continue. No, that's a terrible name for this. But you guys are just traveling. I feel like that'd be like clickbait, right?
Yeah.
So they click on it and they're like, all right, what nefarious plots? Oh, they're just traveling through the woods.
Saddle drop.
Got it. So you guys continue on your journey. Day 7 blends into day 8 and into day 9 and into day 10. And as you go, you find yourself, it's getting colder the further north you move towards the northern end here. Just from
How much
the...
are we talking?
Did you keep all those?
Not dramatically. We're talking like maybe a 10 to 15 degree difference. It is...
Fahrenheit.
The seasons are transitioning in Alavra.
So we're going into like September
Correct.
in a normal city in the
Yeah.
world, not in this city.
Correct. And you're also moving north in the continent.
Oh, I have no idea.
Anyway,
We might have ours.
We have our.
Okay, well, it's quiet. Hey, did you keep all the pelts in the bag holding?
No, they're right here.
It's full of money.
they're over the side,
It's not full.
probably like drying.
Yeah,
Okay.
stretched on the side of the wagon, so as we
Oh,
go,
okay.
the wind goes
That was all
past
I
them and
needed.
it helps cure them. Well, actually, did you do the proper curing process for them?
Probably not.
So, in the future,
Hmm.
you'll want to break open the skulls of the animals, and you'll take.
I knew! I read it somewhere.
You take the brain, and then the brain mixed with, I believe, stomach acid, but it might just be water.
Those are different things.
I can't recall. And you, I don't spend a lot of time curing leather. And you paint that onto the animal, and that will cure the leather in a very
Absolutely, I
minor
did.
fashion.
Sure did. Nailed it. So you guys continue on your journey.
I got a 20.
Oh
The forest gets pretty dense at times. There's a couple times where you have to precariously navigate the cart through narrow passageways between like thick laden trees. But ultimately nothing that requires too much effort. If nothing more than to slow you down, it just another occurrence on the road that breaks up the monotony of just kind of like riding through. You keep in that sort of like gray area between like trees and actual mountainside to try to keep
If it will aid us, I do have a pickaxe, and so I will petrify those trees and try to
pick them down. All right, fair enough.
to get them out of the fucking.
Fair enough.
got this. Is
Oh.
it easier?
So
Then
we
chop
don't,
them down?
Probably. I don't have an axe.
Don't you have a sword that goes through anything?
can that axe be good?
Only things that aren't denser than it.
And then so if you turned it to stone, it would not be able to go through.
With
But
trees,
wood?
But if you did it through wood, it would just go through.
then
Um,
disregard that.
I'd say you did it once, as it's just like cutting through, and then you went.
tree.
He goes underneath the stone.
And then Theda walked up and asked this question.
There's some,
Oh, we don't have horses. We have a chocobo.
they have an axe beat.
Axe beat.
I bought an axe beat.
Yeah. So
Oh.
in case you're like, oh, we got a few horses, like, no, that's a bird thing.
And I.
Just defeat it.
Yeah, we have to beat them. Just saying.
He has
How many
an
days
axe
has it
face.
been?
We're gonna
Oh,
get there,
yeah.
but it's ultimately gonna be six
Six
more from where we are.
Okay.
As you guys continue your journey, you see the occasional group of flying monkeys as they meander through the trees, and they eye you and they move on in sort of like.
Out of curiosity, I don't think I've ever seen these. I haven't spent a lot of time outside. Do they look aggressive, or do they just look like normal, like primate kind of lifestyle together, or do they look like they're looking for somebody to fuck up?
They look adorable.
Yeah.
They don't look like standard primates. They're like fat with like almost like feathery and sort of fur. They have like kind of like round like big faces, and they just kind of like chill.
But the way they're surveying the road, are they looking for easy prey, or are they just happy to hang out?
They're just meandering about.
Okay.
They
I was
kinda
just curious of their attitude. So they're not like
Yeah, they're not like
eyes in the
baboons.
night or anything like that.
They're not baboons.
They're as I say, they're not like your typical primate, which is terrifying. And anybody who disagrees can fight me.
Yeah,
Anybody that disagrees
Not
can fight a
fight
chimpanzee.
Yeah.
they look like that.
Oh my god.
Look at their little
They're
paws.
like little cherubs.
They're
Yeah.
adorable.
Yeah.
They're adorable, and I love them.
Didn't show anybody else.
No,
You know
did you not know what it looked like? Oh, my bad. That makes me a douche.
That's
They're
what-
so cute.
later.
Look at the monkeys, guys.
That is cute. I'm in.
Did you show chat?
Oh, Chad. I think you meant you.
You met him.
I didn't mean me. I meant Chad. Fuck me.
Anyway, Google D&D flying monk.
That's adorable.
So you see those things, they occasionally roll through. You see the occasional giant insect kind of like meandering about in the trees. Usually hear them first with high-pitched whining. I am so sorry.
Gross.
I am so sorry.
You spent
You
like
have a
a
mute
while.
button.
I was doing so good. And then I wasn't doing good anymore.
Ooh, a giant cicada. That'd be fun.
That'd be the worst.
It'd be terrifying.
You just wouldn't sleep.
The whole forest just vibrates.
At a high
You just put it in
frequency.
your bag. Like, that's
So,
why you take nothing. It's like, no.
With that being said, you continue your journey for the next 6 days, relatively unabated, and it's not really until about day 12 of your.
If it helps, is anyone averse to sleeping on the cart? Because if
Yeah,
you need to
that's
sleep,
fine.
I know, but I can ride us through the night. I can sit up front and make sure the cart keeps going. I've got Balvin, and I can ride through the night, make it a short journey. That's helpful.
Got to banish
Who wants to spoon with the big guys?
Oh, yeah.
You have a sword that can cut through anything. Cut a branch down.
Oh,
Well, that we also have to look at bird
should we be marking down what we're saying yesterday?
Yeah, please don't kill my bird.
I mean, you're on day 12 right now. You're going to be on day 12. Day 12 passes relatively uninterestingly until as you guys break down for camp and move along the side of the road that you hear clucking. Familiar clucking by this point.
Oh, fuck. Big clucking or little clucking?
Little clucking. It's the same clucking that you're familiar with.
Oh!
Stone
Oh,
pigeons.
Alright.
Can we just leave them
Are we stopping when we hear the clucking, or do we just hear it as we're going?
No, this is when you like stop, and it's after a while. You're kind of setting up for camp by nightfall. You're looking at like twilight time frame. It's like 8 o'clock at night. Oh goodness.
Oh, I could call him over.
I would like. You're like, please just leave.
I say we don't ask for a fight, but if one comes, then
I want to go look for their
That's asking for a fight.
Go make a survival check.
yeah, she's gone.
Can I quietly, like, can I stop it?
Yeah, go ahead and make a stealth check first then.
Oh please, what's this number?
11.
11. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
She's already got it, isn't she?
She's already gone.
She is going to
You
go.
can see me though, my stealth is so low.
Shoving the grass out of the way. What's your passive?
Yeah.
Yeah. She's did 11 stealth check. Or what was it supposed to be?
What was it, 11?
Yeah.
Okay. Survival now, right?
Yes,
I'd
correct.
like to start
Alright,
prepping
so
the
it's
camp
not
for
Yeah.
the
It's
impending
actually.
attack.
Yeah.
Survival. That's not good. 11.
11.
Okay.
Passive stealth on this thing would be okay. So as you you make your way through the brushes, you kind of like quietly track the cockatrice and try to figure out where it's going. Unfortunately, looking around, you can hear the clucking, but you don't seem to find them per se. It's getting louder, but you're not really making any headway.
I'll go back when I go find them.
And then you head back after a while. They don't seem to notice you either. So you head back and set up camp, chillax, get ready to wind down. The clucking slowly fades out as they seem to be moving away from you.
I'll set out to hunting tracks then.
Oh,
Okay.
there you go. That's actually a really good idea.
We were doing it for a while. I forgot.
Well, I just mean if there's an ambush.
Yeah.
If anything.
So.
Like, fuck find the food.
Okay, so you set up that. You find yourself camping under like a canopy of trees. The ground is mostly uneven terrain with, sparse bushes everywhere, but you find a good enough spot to clear out, set a fire going, hang out, chat, eat, wind down before kind of setting up into going to sleep. Anything else you guys like to do before we continue?
Just my bird call thing.
You're going to do it near the camp or further away?
Further away.
Okay, so you make a clucking sound further away.
Yeah, I do the owl hoot.
Who? Wait, meow. Sorry. Yeah. Sound a bear cat makes.
In West Virginia, I heard the most terrifying bird call. I don't know what it is. I can't identify it, but it was
Jersey
startling.
Devil.
Who is the tallest character in the group?
Not me.
You're now 16, so how
it's
much shorter
long.
does that make you? Remember?
If you're 16, you can still be as tall as you are when you're.
It's true. Was your character the same height? Well, oh god, they're getting a little. They got a little.
I
Character's 5'8".
sprouted up a full like 3 inches when I was 14 and
I
never
am-
grew again in my life.
I'm normally 5'8", but I will say,
5'7".
yeah,
For your own-
5'6", 5'7".
Okay.
Fuck.
Why?
And it's.
That makes him the tallest character.
I don't have anything on my face anymore either.
He's just a person, right?
Yeah, he's got here.
That's what I mean.
Oh.
You're not lizard.
I'm fixed.
That's a thought.
And 5 drink.
Okay.
Adopt him.
Fancy.
Please adopt this mom.
For only 30 cents a day.
For the price of a cup of coffee.
I think.
Back in the 90s.
Not today.
Yeah.
Not today.
Not today.
Coffee.
We're not crazy.
Okay.
This is
Like
such a
90
strange
bucks a month.
question. Who's the tallest? I'm scared.
Budget.
You should be. Okay.
Oh man, the
A
Manicore.
saw blade comes flying across the grass.
Literally.
It's a temple.
1 inch above.
Yeah, your hair gets cut.
As you guys sleep for the evening, relaxing,
Yep.
is anybody keeping watch?
Oh, yeah.
I'm hanging out.
Or are you
with
sleeping?
everyone.
Okay,
No,
what is
I'm
your
not actually
passive
My passive
perception?
perception is awesome at
Oh
16.
yeah, he's got the high.
16. Okay, so as you're sitting there watching out, hanging out, look around,
I imagine I'm sitting on the back of a cart.
hanging out. Where are you sleeping?
Thinking cart, fire, Theta's here, so I'd probably be sleeping on the far side.
Okay, where are you sleeping?
At the
Did
end.
we set the tent up or no?
Probably. But I wouldn't sleep in it.
Well, why did we set it up?
Because you can sleep in it and you can sleep in it.
Are you sleeping in the tent?
Well, I was sleeping next to Rupert, but
Okay, so no, well, I won't set the tent up if nobody else is gonna sleep in it. So I'll be on the cart next to the.
With the dead bodies?
Or can I sleep next to Kitty Kitty? Or will Kitty Kitty get upset?
You try. What are their passive
Yeah.
perceptions, by the way?
I don't know. I don't get any of this.
You didn't get their cards? Did we
No.
not give you cards?
No.
Well, that's embarrassing. How
I
embarrassing.
didn't think I was able to control them whatsoever.
How
I gave him one and I feel bad.
I didn't
I
know
should've
there
given-
was cards.
I should have given you the stats for them. My mistake. Let me go ahead and pull them up
Yeah.
real quick.
I thought they were just like willy nilly. I didn't think I would be control over them.
Everything has a stat card. That blade of grass there has a stat card.
It does. They see
Oh,
stats.
well, fuck me, yeah. He even has a flipper.
All right, its passive perception is 15.
Okay.
So the griffin most likely would know things before you did. He
Can
would
I
be
sleep in you?
Really?
yes.
Okay.
Just anything.
I'll sleep in you and Kitty Kitty. I know
All right.
things before.
So with that being said, I need to know both of your armor classes. Yours.
17.
Okay.
Mine is not that high.
You're not the target.
I'm scared.
Excellent.
Excellent.
Let me just go ahead.
Well, if we're being completely honest, I don't sleep with my shield on, so it's
Can't sleep with your armor on.
yeah, it's technically fucking
You could totally sleep with your armor on, but not your shield. That's good.
13,
If you
I
could sit on
guess.
top of your head, you'd be like a door.
13.
Without armor, yeah. I wouldn't sleep with armor on. Not now, not that you're here.
17 to you.
Yay!
The second one is 23 to hit you.
That's
I
gonna
think that
suck
is.
to wake up.
It really is. I need both of you to make Constitution saving throws, please.
Fine.
Life.
fucking wasps.
21.
8. You fail. You have succeeded. So, as you're sitting there kind of looking around, you hear like the clucking again, so you look that
Oh,
way.
the fucking things!
You hear the clucking, so you look. And then as you turn back, something's not right with the vision as you look out onto the field. Ma is sleeping there. He's obviously sleeping next to a log. Lucrezia is sleeping next to the griffin, who seems to be completely unconscious, also next to a log. You look at Tam, who's asleep, and he's just chilling. Seems fine. And then you kind of get that, like, it's almost like that disorienting where the ground seems to be moving as you realize that thing that he is sleeping next to is not like a log. It is a massive snake that just goes and just fucking snaps at him and snaps at you. These two massive snakes, easily stretching probably about 13, 14 feet in length, thick, hefty bodies, dark-colored patterns to them, just latch on to two of your companions from the underbrush. Rolling a natural 19 for stealth and a 17 for stealth. So, with that being said, you're both hit. So you both are going to take 1d4 of damage.
My first action
What kind of
now.
damage is that?
Piercing. That is 7 points of damage to you. And for you, the damage is 6 points of damage. However, you succeeded on your Constitution saving throw, so you're going to take half. That's 1, 5. 9 points of poison damage, half to 4. And then for you, you failed yours, so
One day this won't affect me.
you take 14 points of poison damage.
Oh my god!
And they latch onto your bodies. As you're woken up from start asleep, you feel this pulse of venom enter your body, and you, stealing yourself up initially, kind of clenching the area. You don't feel it spread, but you feel it spread throughout your body, and a surprised gasp rouses you immediately, and you just stand up like, holy shit! Just these two things. So I need everyone to roll initiative, please.
Oh man, that's gonna be good.
Oh wow, nice.
Hashtag
One
determined
day.
surprise.
Palestine ability.
Ha!
Not bad on initiative.
I'm not being sarcastic, that's just how I laugh.
Alright, cool. 25 to 20.
28.
Nice.
Our initiatives are always so close.
25 to 20 is 20. 15 to 20?
19.
19.
Ooh, team better friends over
I
there.
wear just pants. Great.
I'll just wear a beanie and a bottom trunks.
What was yours?
9.
9. You still
The
have
guy
to go
wearing
before they do.
baseball gear?
Oh yeah, no, I'm always wearing that. Because if I'm not wearing that, who boy is my armor class lowest dicks. That takes me from like a 14 to a 10.
Alright, so as soon as they latch onto you, you're quite aware that they're there, and you feel its body begin to coil up like it's trying to. It's going to have to do that on its next turn. You are also slowly being coiled up as it begins to latch
So I
on.
can't reach anything?
No, it's not happening yet. It's
Okay.
trying
You
to.
can tell it's moving in such a way.
It is.
I have a quick question.
You up first, sir.
About the galvanized thing. Does that work for me too, or just
Mhm.
Okay, cool.
Once.
I'm going to go.
Once, yes.
Who's closer to me?
You're in the cart, correct?
No, I'm next to the.
Is the group
Next
a
to
step on
Next to the axe beak, so you're in the front, and then you have Theta, and then you have the fire, and then you have Ma, and then you have Lucrezia next to them. So they're equidistant, basically.
I just go.
You just hear shriek, surprise yelling, screaming.
I'm probably the
First.
closest to you.
Definitely wasn't me shrieking.
And I gotta take Marvelius and short sword.
Yeah, just grab them both out.
Run,
Oh, wait.
jump at it, and
Bleary-eyed, you're just like, ugh, and then you run, take stock of the situation. Oh, that's some nightmare fuel, and then you just run up and leap, heroic leap style through the air, and then go.
no shoes and just pants.
All right, go ahead and make your attack roll, sir.
Better footing on the snake.
Let's see. Okay, first one is 12,
Hits. Oh no, sorry, 12 does not hit.
and the second one is a 23.
Which
23
snake is he
hits.
getting?
Come on.
On her?
Yeah, I'm assuming the one on next to the griffin.
And the last one's a 3, so that one misses. So
Okay,
one
go ahead.
miss.
Make your, or go ahead and roll your damage.
Alright, I'm gonna do the maneuvering attack, so as a reaction, she could disengage from it.
Oh,
Okay.
nice.
Cool.
Cool.
Nice. Thank you.
Wait. That is a load of bollocks. That is 11 points of damages.
Okay. So as you run down and you see it, you instinctively, both leaping through the air, the short sword comes down first and clatters to the ground as they're both kind of moving, like, frantically, obviously. However, Marvelius comes down and right to the head. It separates, and the head bends upwards, and you're like, get the fuck out of there, and you get up. You can actually reposition yourself, so where would you like to go? Don't worry about the map, just tell me where you'd like to go.
Away from the goddamn snake.
You instinctively, she gets up and just,
Snakes.
it,
So
yeah, and
around
takes
the side of the cart
yeah, like
probably.
takes a couple steps
Well,
back, and you
I'll
like,
be able to see them,
you-
but away from them.
you pull the fucking the snake head off yourself as the teeth are still dug in, but you relax the jaws, and you kind of just feel that ache of pain. It is now Theta and Lucrezia at the same time.
See you.
Okay. Will you
it's better for me to go later.
Okay.
Oh man, he's in a tender
I would like to do the galvanize thing, so I'll be like, God damn it, that hurt! And use my action. So everybody gets 5 temporary hit points.
So she runs to the side, she pries the teeth off of herself, and then she grabs the hammer out, and then she whispers something. She's like, "What did you say? God damn it!"
Yes.
She's like, "God damn it, that hurt!"
Yeah.
And you see the head, the sapphire and head of the hammer itself go pulse for a second, and this light comes off, and it's just like almost like a wind kind of presses over everybody, and you kind of feel like this reserve of like, I can like keep going, I can keep fighting, and then she just kind of like presents the hammer for a second, brings it down.
I'll spend a key point to take dodge.
Okay. 5 temporary hit points. All right, that is the end of. You're up.
From my vantage on the back of the cart, I'm gonna go, "Ah!" and I'm gonna pull out that tomahawk and throw it at the one on the wall.
Go ahead and make the attack roll, please.
22.
22 hits. Are you making the explosion?
Oh yeah.
Okay, excellent.
Oh no.
What?
And now,
What's the point?
Okay, go ahead.
Explosion.
go ahead and roll damage.
So
It
sneak
hits.
attack.
I will give it to you because he is
Okay.
next to it.
Well, I don't
technically.
know if it counts for a snake or not. So, roll the thunder damage first for fun. 2 thunder damage.
Okay.
Oh wow, that's a terrible roll. That's cocked, thankfully. Rolled the same number. 2, 4, 6, 7, 13.
13 total.
It's not, is it plus any of my modifiers?
Just your dex mod for your attack.
Plus my, okay, so that's really big. 17 then.
17. So as you
And I-
just
that
see,
first time. Holy shit! That first attack then was like a 28 for damage.
so you see Tam instinctively get up, bleary-eyed, jump, sever the head, tell Lucrezia to get out of there. She moves. She uses galvanize. This. Yes, killed it.
Okay.
And as you
Snick the head off.
as you throw the axe, it goes tumbling down, collides with the side of the snake, and then and just blood explosion as the top half and the teeth are still attached, but the lower half is just missing as it's been interrupted in the center, and just like both halves are writhing in like a frenzy. It's still, teeth are still latched onto you, but it's like slowly losing, and then it stops. They are both dead.
Oh, okay.
Snake skin.
Well, because I did the dodge because I was like, oh, what's gonna happen?
Snake skin.
Yeah, I'll get snake skin.
There's a lot of snake skin.
That's good.
Me too.
Good job, everyone.
Dex based.
That doesn't. Wait.
That's what it is for skinning things.
Isn't it?
I remember when I was a wizard.
Well, it depends. Whatever you say.
I
Yes.
took bonuses to my dex.
What?
If you're skinning an animal, what's that check?
It depends on if you're trained. It's a survival check, but if you are trained in survival, you can use your dexterity
Oh,
modifier.
okay. I'm not trained in survival.
That's why.
Otherwise, it's just
I skin
survival.
people, not animals. I'm trained in
Are you
survival.
guys scared?
I
You want to
would
skin
rather
them?
use my
We'll
wisdom.
have-
How big are these?
Like
They're about 15 feet long. However, one of them is in half, so it's only about 7 foot,
Take that
Of-
part.
2 7 feet. But then
I'll just
the
go
other
for the
one,
one that hasn't been horribly marred.
the one with the missing a head, is the full like 15 feet. Oh, it's 14 feet. It's missing its head.
I'll slowly using our values.
Sink
Does
through
that
it.
help him at all? Since it's all like.
No, it actually would make it way harder because there's nothing to catch it to stop it from
Because-
It's like a
coming through.
lightsaber going through.
When you skin like a reptile or a fish with a knife that's not too sharp, you can put it between the skin and the flesh, and you just pull it down, and the skin will not want to cut, so it'll pull away from the meat of the
No,
body.
I've done that.
But if it's like super sharp, it'll go right through the skin and go, damn it.
Keep doing
Go ahead and
I
make
know.
your.
I skinned a snake with a scalpel.
That, why?
That
Yes,
is a
it's
solid.
cute.
Oh, okay.
With
That's
a scalpel.
terrifying. That's shit serious.
It was
What
dead.
did you do?
I think I was dead. I
10.
didn't know
You manage. I'll say you managed to get about a 5 foot section before like Marvellius just betrays you and goes fucking straight through.
it betrays you.
But it's like one of these where you're like, yeah, oh, it just cuts the whole thing in half, and then you're like, fuck. But you get a 5 foot section of 5 foot by what is that? Like probably about 2 feet around. So 5 foot by 2 foot. segment of skin.
Yeah, you could make a new corset. I'm going
That's
back
a
to
pretty-
sleep.
Do you want to do the rest of them? If nothing else, I hear that snake skin is valuable.
That is
Oh,
for
let's
both. It's saying that he wore it through both. He just rolled once.
Is that just for skin? Can we get any meat from him or no?
You can snake meat.
Well, I'll try.
Go ahead. Believe in yourself.
As you're doing it, I'm going to ask you: have you ever eaten snake?
What's the griffin's not like?
It's about the snake's knee.
Fair, because snake is not the greatest.
Yeah. Okay.
You've had chicken,
Survival?
correct?
Yeah.
It's like that, but if it was gamier and greasier.
15 if it's survival. For
I'll say you'd be able
meats.
to get. How much is enough for one griffin? Is 4 pounds. 4 pounds would be
So
safe.
2 pounds. So half the order.
Yeah.
You also have 33 pounds of wolf.
Well,
Wolf.
That was 6
yeah,
days.
we've been like picking up, but it's like only 8 days of food for 4 days each for our griffins, so it's not
That
a
was
lot.
6 days ago.
Hey, say it's
Was
5
it?
pounds.
I thought because you said we were on
Just to make it that much harder for him.
Yeah,
No,
6
if you
days.
say it's 5 pounds, then it's an even 9 days of food out of everything.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
5 pounds. Did you say? I'll be nice. I'm a nice guy.
I mean, them snakes is heavy.
So
Sure.
They're all muscle. And there's just a little bit of bone in there.
They work out.
It works out.
what that?
I'm going back to sleep.
Me too. What is that?
Probably nothing, don't worry about it.
Okay. Carry on, my wayward son.
If we hear.
Damn it!
If that thing shows up again.
We are running.
I mean, it pays it. It's paying off for it to just follow you around right now.
Yeah.
So
You're
we're
leaving a trail
You're
of
not-
corpses.
You're not
Does this
taking it.
The corpses are
Because if you forget,
delicious.
it's just gonna eat you. 'Cause,
forget to what?
We're
like, if you
right.
don't leave it, like you left snake and boar and other thing. So if you don't fight anything on one of these days, it's just gonna fucking come up and eat
We're
you.
just gonna have to start killing things wantonly to like to
Old woman on the road.
Yeah. I'm
Sorry.
sorry. This is
We
for
haven't
you.
seen any deer.
Can you help
I'm
me
sorry.
find my grants?
Yes, you can.
Don't curse us, curse your whole face.
You don't understand
It's a
how important.
sacrifice to keep us alive.
Yeah, it's our T-Rex.
Hey, we'll have to find some dead bodies for days.
So you skin up your thing. You go back to sleep. You guys wind down, chillax.
I will collect my tomahawk.
Our name should have been the Corpse Brigade.
Man, that's so much cooler.
What did we have? What is our name? The blue something?
Azure Thunderbird.
Azure Thorngard.
I say we go
Corpse
back and
Brigade,
change
so
the
much-
Corpse Brigade.
Yeah. We gotta go back and tell them.
Where we go corpses.
How about the
follow.
blue corpse brigade? Does that make you feel better?
No.
We'll talk to them about it.
Yeah, we'll change it. It's good. It's fine. Corpse Brigade, though, is lovely.
It's also a middle bit.
Blue
No, it shouldn't.
Blue Corpse B Brigade.
The BCB!
B baby.
Oh, wait, no. Tam killed
So the
them. He did
BCB,
not kill
yeah,
them.
you know me.
Yeah. Right. Corpse Brigade. Keep it in mind. You
I'm
can
gonna
change.
sleep next to the cart though.
I'm gonna go back to sleep or I'm gonna set up on the bodies and watch.
All right. So you guys get your rest. You continue on your journey. Having been attacked by bugs and now snakes, travel sucks. You continue your
I have
journey.
to say, as we're traveling, this does feel like a cursed road. We've traveled on other roads before, and we dealt with manticores, and we dealt with a couple of other just things, but never so many obstacles on our road. And the corpses you passed.
We also started out, the area we started in was like the Manticore area.
Oh, so maybe there's something to it. I'm telling you, we need this city. I say we make it ours. We need a flag.
We can.
We need a flag.
Well, we got-
Corpse Brigade City. That'd be fucking
It's
gnarly.
just like running over a corpse.
Just the outside, just.
Wait, would you call it like a necropolis or something if it's like the Corpse Brigade
Well, we
City?
call
We
it
can have a window
the
of
sepulcher.
corpses.
The sepulcher, yeah.
Thorn.
Sepulcher? How do you pronounce it?
I think we should just go
I don't know.
with
Corpse
Corpse
Chat.
Brigade's
Sounds
better. You're
right.
right. It rolls right off.
Chat.
It
Are you
does.
sad, Andy?
No. I'm
Alright.
actually, if anything, I'm sad that you motherfuckers didn't have this creativity when we were making it.
Me too.
Somebody write that down so you can remember to tell the Adventurers Guild.
Can we change our shit to Corpse Brigade?
They'll
What?
prob-
It
they'll
sounds
prob-
horrible and
Oh my god!
Yeah, it's.
That honestly sounds like a merc guild though. Like you guys are gonna like start your own.
If we only had a party of
Business.
necromancers, that would be perfect.
Hey, you still have the ability to multi-class, whether or not it's effective or not.
For the
I'm
next
okay.
campaign, I'm gonna be a necrodancer.
That's all we do.
Would you say you do the mash?
Shake them
The
bones.
monster mash.
It's a graveyard smash.
Yeah, it's a graveyard smash. All right, fair enough. So as you continue your journey,
Did it catch on in a flash?
Was it?
Was it
day,
thriller?
day 13 is mostly patching and recovering. It's just like getting those wounds and relaxing.
And probably also like making sure all the skins are curing properly and turning them over and making sure the snake skin is tacked up the right way.
From the T-Rex.
Yeah. As you guys are going through, though, the day seems pretty calm. It's a nice day. It starts off cold and it kind of edges into like that medium warm temperature of like maybe like 70s, 80 degrees. It's balmy out.
Nice.
So it's a nice. Occasionally the wind through the trees. However, the wind begins to carry the sound of metal. This sort of like clink, clink. And at first it kind of strikes you. It sounds like people moving, similar to yourselves.
Is that are we downwind or are we? Is the wind coming? Is the wind coming towards our faces?
Yeah, it's coming
or
towards your faces, yeah.
Okay.
So it's coming from in front of you. You hear clinking and moving around.
Terrain.
Probably about
I
midday.
don't know if I could determine this, but would I be able to determine if it's like that armor that I saw on the lizard people?
The armor that you saw on the lizard people. The fire newts?
Yeah.
It sounds like metal.
It's about the same that I'm wearing.
The lizard folk that you fought in the south, they wore bone and chitin armor. They didn't wear
Metal.
metal.
Well, you.
The fire newts wore metal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because
I'm
they're
telling you,
fire.
right, but it sounds like metal clinking. Whether or not it's
Like
their
metal
armor
or-
versus Tam's armor,
Well,
it's
'cause,
just metal
like-
clinking.
I'm going to take a moment to
Well,
talk
because,
to
like,
Lucrezia.
different- You think that like different metal would sound different, like thicker
Mm,
metal?
not
Depends.
enough.
Okay.
Too, but yeah, and I mean, like I can tell you as a guy who works in metal all the time, like personally, take
Right.
my hat off. I can tell you when somebody in my shop drops aluminum and somebody in
Right,
my
that's
shop
what I'm
drops
saying.
steel. But if you're talking about steel that like some
Inventions.
jackass made and steel that some primitive people made, it's gonna sound relatively similar.
And
Like
this
there's,
is in-
because at this probably at this distance and at this like resonance that we're hearing, there's steel, there's rocks, and there's like bone, and you wouldn't hear bone this far
Okay.
out. So you're just getting metal, but this Data is very excited because does that sound like a guard to you?
I don't know now.
Everybody, cart.
That sounds like a guard to me.
Hold the cart, move, stay here. They let's move on.
You guys slow down the cart.
Should I have?
Yeah. We'll pause the
Here.
cart. No, here. Just
Are you
hang
talking
here.
here?
Wait, there's no
Just
point.
yes, but here.
There's no point in hiding. We have a
Ooh.
cart
Yeah,
right
thanks.
next
Yeah, sure, just my daughter.
We're gonna survey.
I'm taller than you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm not. No, you could have sex with whoever you want.
Data and I, we're gonna split the road, so you take one
Should
side
I have
off
to
the
hide
other,
it?
Fair.
and then we will stealth and head.
No. Okay.
You
Okay.
I'll be
roll.
ready.
Go ahead and roll your stealth rolls,
Happy.
please.
I'm ready.
Man, that's
If it's a
terrible.
lizard person, I will attack. If it's not lizard, I will not attack.
Okay.
Ready to action.
What's your roll?
15.
19.
19. Okay, so together you guys split the road and take both sides. You're hanging out by the cart.
5.
Yeah.
You getting down and prepping, or what?
That's still not
Or are you
bad.
gonna stay up just in
Getting
case?
onto the
I was
road.
gonna say, so I could actually see.
Okay, so you stay up and kind of keep your eyes. They split the road. There isn't really a road here. You're actually where you go and you don't need them. You're just there's no path through. You've been making your own kind of journey, which is why a lot of
There's
the
not even like a wanderer's path, like
No.
or like a deer trail.
you've had to. That's why he's been navigating the whole time because there is no.
Nobody would come.
Yeah, no one's come here
Well,
for.
the only thing that makes me think is like teenagers, to be completely
What if
honest with
it's
you, like idiots and braggarts, people that are like,
But
oh
it's-
yeah, I've gone to that city, I've seen it, and it's nothing.
But I mean, I feel like it's a really long journey, so like not many people are gonna come out. With
Sure.
it.
It would be closer if you were in places like Sin
However,
Hollow.
how much
to the north.
supplies? That's the only thing that I was thinking of. If they run supplies out here occasionally, if it is truly the hidey hole, then maybe every month or so,
Okay.
the King's Guard sends out a very quiet battalion of people to leave a cart full of hardtack
Do you think
and
he would go different ones though, so I didn't leave the trail?
maybe if
Or
they're
there's
smart.
probably
should've
a
been
better
looking for that.
trail.
But yeah, there's a paved road just on the other side of those trees.
We're fucking idiots.
Shit.
Cobblestone and poured asphalt. And
Can I look to see if it looks like anything?
Make a perception check.
Well, we crawl up.
That's not what I'm curious of. That's not bad.
16.
No, you don't see any sign of a road or a passage or anything.
Great.
As you two are moving up,
hunting.
you hear the clinking, and then suddenly the clinking just stops.
If the sound stops, I'm stopping.
Same.
Okay, as you guys stop, you suddenly hear this like sort of like, and then it kind of goes back and forth, and then silence. But then you begin to hear like feet moving towards you rather quickly. And then you begin to hear the metal begin to clink back up as it seems like they stop being slow and they begin kind of like moving at a quick pace closer towards you.
I'm freezing. I'm
Okay.
staying exactly where I was. As soon as I hear more noise, and if it's approaching, I'm not moving anywhere.
Okay.
Same.
What was your stealth check, please?
19.
19. Okay. So as you're both kind of chilling, there's a brief stop where all of a sudden you just see almost Velociraptorian. These things, their heads come up from the brush and they begin looking around, and you recognize them as being red fire newts, as you've seen them before, but they seem to be looking for you as they've heard you moving up, and they begin to kind of like, they slow up and then they begin to get their shields ready on their like sort of like floppy appendages. They like prep shields and they prep swords, ranging from scimitars. It seems to be their preferred method, and they seem to be outfitted in like this chainmail, which is outlined over them with like a little clasp, but due to the way that their bodies are shaped, it doesn't look like formed to each bit. But they just kind of like,
How many?
right now there's 4 of them, and as you guys are watching, and they seem to like look back and forth, and then there's and they just start blowing fire, just trying to like burn the ground in front
I
of
would
them.
like to attempt to disengage and run backwards.
Okay. For the sake of this, because they're just peppering the area that you're in, I need both of you to make dex saving throws, please.
No, I don't.
This is good though.
Level
13.
13?
14.
14. You're both going to take half damage from the attack, so...
Yeah.
I'm gonna need a wet paper towel.
Oh, no, that's a d10. I'll just not roll that one.
Please don't.
You both take 4 points of fire damage as suddenly they're flustered, sort of hearing something. They just scorch earth and they just begin just blowing out these gusts of fire. And they're not like fire breath like 15 foot long. It's more of a 5 foot segment, just like 5 foot
Just
area.
hitting the
Just
undergrowth and-
and they're just like letting them out as fast as they can. You start to get scorched, and Theta runs, which perks all their attention up. What are you doing?
I'm taking distraction on purpose.
I'm going to ready an action.
Okay.
If one gets close enough, I'm going to cast
Oh, we
Stand
don't.
on it.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and say that you're within, we'll say 60 feet. So the cart is 60 feet back from where you are, moving. So we're going to go ahead and put some people on the map real quick, and then we will go ahead and have everyone roll initiative for me while I do this.
Everyone?
Yes.
God, I'm not rolling well.
Okay.
Every single one of these rolls has been under 10.
But it ain't good on about 10.
It
Alright,
does
so-
with a modifier, but like my plus 10 modifier went to the 5 roll.
So,
I'm hungry.
This gets a plus 4 roll. Hooray.
5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 35, 45, 60. So we'll say that they're in formation. As they pepper, you sprint back to make it to the cart, having a little bit of...
I won't make it 60, I'll only make it 50.
Okay, so boop. As you're running back, you kind of draw their attention up. We'll get you off to the sides. At which point, they kind of like chitter amongst themselves, you see, and then they begin kind of moving forward in a line, taking like slow steps, seemingly distrusting, but one will get within your range if you want to.
I'll wait until he passes me.
Okay. Go ahead and make your attack roll. I'm going to give them one more chance to see you. 19, right?
As I dash back, I will call out to the cart. Fire nukes!
Like when you get closer.
Yeah. I'm
Okay.
10 feet away.
None of them seem to see you, so you will have your advantage.
Yay!
You're up
However,
in
you won't get another
It's
one.
like on fire. Maybe break them.
Good thing.
Nice.
Nice.
Another
2. Andrew. You did good.
Okay. Can I have everyone roll initiative, please? Also, what was your attack roll? 2.
Plus 8 is 10.
10 does not hit.
Even from behind.
That was, I gave him advantage.
Yeah,
that
I know.
was really not Andy.
He rolled a 1, 2.
You know, I've been waiting so long to be able to do this. I've succeeded once because she messed it up twice. You jumped the gun and attacked before I was ready.
Or missed with a hammer.
Or missed with a hammer. Which is fine. It happens.
Yeah, it's
But
nice.
finally, I was like, yes, finally, the luck's turned around. I can sneak
Secret.
attack everybody.
No.
Ha ha!
Shit.
Magic.
Okay. As you leap from the bushes, there's a brief moment where you feel that sort of predatory instinct kick in, like the hairs on the back of your neck begin to stand up, and you begin channeling this like bluish energy beginning to form around you. And then as you leap from the underbrush and just both hands out, the stinger comes down, and as you do, you kind of see its eye. There's like this large bulbous eye just wing up, and then the one next to it just kind of jumps over top and takes the hit on the front of its shield, and it shatters off. The energy dispersing along the surface, and they both kind of like they all turn to like see you. All right, 25 to 20.
Hell yeah.
Good start. 15 to 20.
18.
Oh, good.
18.
There's somebody in that group.
16.
Oh, good.
18, 16. Okay. Enemies. 5 to 10?
I'm 12.
10 to 15.
Oh, hey, I'm 12 as well.
Oh, hey, you guys get to go at the same time.
I'm just sharing initiative with everybody
Yeah.
today.
All right, so 12. Got it. So we got 4 enemies.
You're like, why don't we do that?
What?
Piggyback, you don't have it.
All right, with Master Blaster it,
Because he's
You're
not
like,
shape.
no, like.
because he's a sphere. All right, top of the round, Ma, you're up. So.
Alright, I'm
We
gonna
attack you
disengage.
really fast.
Okay.
And move out maximum walking distance this way at an angle.
Okay.
And
Oh, you got away from that?
we'll.
He used disengage.
Oh.
They swing out at him, but
Yeah.
he's like,
I'll
They're
take
really
this
hot.
action.
you already took your action to disengage.
You're right. Disregard it then. I'll stand there. So you get them say, needle is head next year.
Thinking
Expecting the grass.
Lou, you're up.
Okay, I don't see them.
You do not. You're talking about trees and brush all in your way,
I will.
leading all the way up. I will say, for sake of argument, you do see a silhouette running through the trees.
I will go to here.
Do they exude light?
They glow, yes.
Yeah. So there's probably some glow in the trees, and that's
I know.
all you're seeing, though.
Okay.
40? Okay. You kind of prep yourself?
Yes.
Okay, fair enough.
Wait, that was just my movement, right?
Yes.
I'll hold my action then.
Okay.
Or when they come out, it's the first one I see. I'll
You're going to whap at it?
walk at.
Alright, so their movement
Wow.
is...
Whack on them.
It's going this way?
Balls.
And that's not close enough.
No, they're staying. Nope, staying out 10 feet. However, these ones will go here.
I only can get one.
Okay, so go ahead and make your attack roll, please.
Decent.
15.
15 does not hit. Make another one.
Oh, I get 2?
You have extra attack. You
I
held
didn't
your
know that.
you held your attack action. You have extra attack. You get to attack twice.
That's worse. 10.
Okay. As you see them run by, 2 of them run by, and then one of them just like barks over his shoulder, and this sort of like fire cackle just and which alerts the next 2 that are running up behind him. And as they do, they immediately kind of bank towards you, and prepping yourself, getting ready. As you already saw Ma run by, and then you see 2 of them, and you steel yourself. The first one you run up, and as you go to swing, it instinctively just like jumps through the air and pops your shield. And as you go to turn around and get the second one, the other one comes down and blocks that one.
Still do. Let me check on something.
So funny. These are like some hardcore Spartan
No.
motherfuckers, but they got like the noodly fingers.
Yeah, they have like really weird, like noodly floppy fingers. When you-
It's like this slick,
The
gross
unarmored
looking.
strike is that's a.
It's a bonus action.
Yeah,
You have your action.
We're good. I can't do that. Carry.
So as you bing, and then you turn around and bing, both seem to be blocked by these things as they're have like this sort of like very live.
Did you want us to just hang that one?
Okay. With that being said, it is now their turn. So you're gonna get 4 attacks to you, and you're gonna get 4 attacks to you.
4 total. So
Yes.
they each get 2.
Yes.
Both have extra attack. Well,
Okay. So the first one to you is going to be 11.
Does not.
Second one to you is going to be a 22.
Definitely hits.
Hooray! Floor roll.
That's a 7.
Are they still
And the third one is a 20. Not natural, which is 20. So 2 of those hit you. Okay, so the first one is 4 points of slashing damage, and the second one is 4 points of slashing damage. So as the first one leaps out of the brush, you kind of expect it. You wheel around, and he swings, and you just sidestep naturally. Second swing, he goes, and you try to like pull back, but it kind of skitters across the front of your chest plate there, kind of like taking the blow. And then the second one leaps out, and you instinctively parry that out of the way, and he just shield checks you in the side, kind of takes you off your feet a little bit, as they seem to be. They like leap and attack. The next 4 to you. That's a 9 and a 6. That one is a 15 and 15 again. So as both of these, they just kind of start like taking these like straight like stabbing strikes, and they're just and you're just dodging out of the way. But that is the end of their turn. So Tam, you're up, sir.
I'm gonna stand on top of the seat,
Okay.
pull out my crossbow, and level it at.
You keep away from my daughter.
All right, go ahead and make your attack roll, sir.
Classic.
That is a
Oh,
14.
14 misses.
Okay. I'm gonna try it.
Bonus
My
action.
Bonus action reload and then
Fire it again.
same thing.
14. Yeah, you fire off the first one and it goes wide. The second one you fire off and it also goes to the side as it seems to be. But now you see its head. It's like big bulbous sort of flat head. Its eyes like a little chameleon, right? Just the one eye kind of and locks in on you. That is the end of your turn. Theta, you're up, sir.
Right, I'm going to go up to the ones menacing Lucrezia.
Okay.
And as I go, I'm going to pull out Captain Cedar's longsword.
Okay.
So it
You goes up and then you just watch it.
nice.
It's like this ethereal sort of bluish flame.
Have I
like
seen you
smack
do
him
I
with
did.
my
It smacked the
stone,
shit out of this thing. I gotta put it up higher. Okay.
and then I'm going to go to attack. Now I do have a mechanics question.
Yes.
Because it is an ethereal blade and it does not interact with non-living matter.
Yes.
What is that interaction when it comes to armor?
When it comes to armor, it is negated.
Okay,
Because
that's what
the
I
armor,
thought.
the armor does work, but on normal things it wouldn't.
Sure, and that's what I figured,
Yeah.
but I had to ask.
In a
Okay.
way, armor.
So you are good to make your attack, sir.
Moving with a living being. That's not gonna hit. It's a 2 plus all of my wonderful modifiers makes it like a. I don't know. It's like a 9, I think.
So as you run through, you notice that the eye is this like one singular eye is staring at Tam on top of the cart.
Plus 8. It's a 10.
And as you run through, you just watch it go and like slide down, which kind of like takes you off. And you're like, whoa, that's weird. They move independently. At which point the scimitar lights, and you see its whole head kind of like, what the hell? And you swing it down, and as it passes through the shield, his whole body turns to one side and like goes right by, and he's just like, oh shit. So that is the. Are you bonus action attack? You have an offhand if you'd like, or you can use it for something else. You can still sneak attack. with your
Bonus
offhand.
action, I'm going to disengage.
Okay. Disengage and move. You've already moved. 25.
So he's got 5.
I already moved 25, and
Yeah.
I can't do anything.
Okay.
What's your full? Oh,
That's
yeah,
my full
30.
movement, yeah.
Yeah.
Alright.
I'm
I
a
got-
small creature.
That was 30.
If that is the case, then can I stab him with a dagger?
Yes.
Okay.
As your
I'm
offhand.
gonna try to stab him with a dagger.
Okay. Go ahead and make your attack.
9, so 16.
16 just hits.
Okay. And then they just get a d6 because it's offhand. It doesn't
Sneak
add
attack.
anything. Oh, you got sneak attack.
As it's only once per round, but it doesn't matter which hand you hit with, as long as it's a finesse weapon.
Jesus.
So it gives you a secondary opportunity to land it. 14 plus is that plus your dex mod?
No.
Oh wait,
18.
no,
But
because it's
it wouldn't
offhand.
be
Yeah.
plus because it's offhand. Yeah.
So what was
I
it
wish
again?
it was 18, but it's only 14.
14. Okay, so as you run by, so you see it dodge, and then with your other hand you just stick it right in like the heavy part of where you imagine it's like where its hip is, and it just kind of like digs in. But you see it like as it kind of starts showing pain, it just and it just like tries to like hold itself up. You've seen that they are probably pretty well trained. That is the end of your turn,
Well,
sir.
good
Top of
for
the
them.
round.
Let's murder them.
Top of the round. It is Maw.
I'm gonna make
You discussing these records?
make a real hard effort.
Well, we know that 16 hits. Just hits. So does that mean?
No, 14.
I thought it was 16.
14.
Gotta watch out for the Terminator, he's coming.
Okay.
At least I think so. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat. It'll prove me wrong in the VOD, but I'm pretty sure it was 14.
Do I want to do 44? Or do I want to do 46? With
46.
a chance that they could save and do half damage.
Do it. 46.
Or if they save.
What's the save?
Constitution. 16.
I don't know what a fire needs to say.
You wanna do bite?
I'd say try it and see if it, because that'll be a learning experience if nothing
Yeah.
else, and you'll get a little information on them.
Okay.
It'll make more sense. in the
Was
long
it
run.
16 or 14 that hit?
I'm going to try
Was it something
16.
just hits?
I'm gonna
Oh,
try
it was?
Sting.
Oh.
Just hit. Huh?
Sting,
I thought it was 14, but I was wrong.
The
Okay.
one I tried to sting before.
All right.
Chat,
Go ahead.
Be honest. What the hell?
That is 21.
Like,
21 hits.
Nice.
which one?
Go ahead and roll damage. It needs to make a con
You said
save.
one?
Constitution. What is your save?
16.
Okay, it fails.
All right.
Yeah,
That
there
is
you go.
going to be 2 piercing damage,
Okay.
and then 10 poison damage.
All right. Solid hit. So this time, as you prep the spell, you begin to have that blue energy channel down the arm, and as you bring it around, you see it kind of like its eyes begin kind of like scatteredly looking around to try to tell where this is going to come from, and it comes up from underneath and stabs into it.
That's how it's supposed to.
You just bring it up and you see it jab into the side of this thing, and you see the pulse, and it kind of like body shakes for a second as the ethereal poison manifests, and then the whole thing dissipates, and it's just kind of like standing there. Oh, wow. The computer just told me it wanted to restart.
Oh, that's
Did you
exciting.
win it or no?
No, I hit use a different time.
Later,
Okay,
please.
that is the end of your turn?
Yes.
Okay, so next up it is Lucrezia.
Alright, I would like to try to hit the one, the lighter colored one.
What race
Okay.
are you?
I am a human.
Human. Go ahead and make your attack.
Halfling.
19.
19 hits.
I would like to do it as a trip attack.
Okay, go ahead, and it needs to make a strength saving throw
Yes.
against your DC, which is
16.
16. That's Dex. 8 plus Dex plus proficiency. Okay.
Yeah, 16.
It fails.
Okay, so then it's not prone.
Okay.
I did. 10 damage to it.
10 damage. Okay.
And then I will hit with my extra attack. with my
Okay.
hammer.
So
At
it knocks
advantage.
prone. Yes, because it is knocked prone. Advantage.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna flip them upside down.
19 plus 8.
Hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
27. Okay. That is 6 damage.
6 damage. All right. Did you add your dice from the trip attack dice? Superiority die? Okay. Just want to make sure.
And then
6.
I will attempt to do that that whole bring your foot straight up and
Axe kick.
yeah.
Okay, go ahead and make your attack roll.
Axe.
At advantage. Axe heal.
Ooh,
Natural
natural
20. Go ahead and roll damage.
Okay. So,
You've seen one of those executed
do I roll
on a
again?
person?
Double that.
It's terrifying.
Huh?
Do I roll again?
Roll a dice again, yeah. So 4 plus 6, 10 plus modifier.
Oh, I rolled once. 15.
15 damage. So you now that the sort of shock wears off as they're like leaping around, you take that opportunity to smash it in the leg with its hammer, swiping its feet out from underneath it. Then you bring the hammer down on the top of its head, just back, and you see its like head kind of like mush up for a second, and it like shakes, and then you bring your heel all the way up in this like vertical axe kick. I'm gonna keep
Put
doing it.
yourself in the camera.
I can't. Anyway, so I keep having to
It's
move and grab
I know,
stuff.
but it's important for chat.
And then
to
you
see.
bring your heel down in this wide arc and just smash the head, and you see it just explode outwards. You do take 1 point of fire damage as the blood sprays up on your foot and on your heel. It just begins to burn.
Okay.
That is the end of your turn. Next
Put that
up,
in a bucket.
Yeah,
it is now the enemy's turn. So we have
Because it
2 on me
colorized.
and
2 on Ma, 1 on Lou, and we both attacked it.
yeah. So all right. So first turn to you, sir.
yeah, boy.
He's not gonna throw one at me?
Yeah.
Not yet. That is a natural 20.
Oh my god.
And that is a 19 plus some. So both of those hit.
Jesus.
So the first one is going
What
to
do you mean
be
do both of those hit?
1, 6, 7. The first one is 7 points of slashing damage, and the second one is going to be 6 points of slashing damage. So that was his attack. Now the other guy's going to go.
Oh.
That is a 7. And that is a 13. So
Him.
Yeah.
There's one of us.
13. Okay, and that's the natural 20?
No, this is a whole separate.
this is a whole separate guy attacking. And both of those missed because one was an 8 and the other one was a 13 to hit. So as the first guy comes in, he just socks you straight in the face with like a floppy arm that's holding the sword, just punches you right in the mouth. That hard kind of like grits your teeth for a minute. You know, you start to see stars, and then as his other hand, he just checks you in the stomach with the shield, trying to like take you off your feet. And as you're like kind of like rocked, you just instinctively kind of like dodge the next guy's attacks. Like, oh shit, that hurt. No one makes me bleed my own blood. The next one is going to be at you.
It's a floppy.
That's a 9. And the next one after that is going to be a 18.
Nope.
Okay, so as this one goes down, it sees that you killed its companion, and it swings, and then it swings again, both seemingly not connecting. That is the end of their turn. Tam, you're up, sir.
I'm gonna pull out my
Schwartz?
values.
Schwarmas?
Good.
Bonus and move. Ba-doo. Hey,
25. You're within range of that one.
All tree on that one.
All tree. Tree of might. Christmas tree of might. Ho, ho, ho.
This one goes on, which is a 25.
25 hits. Go ahead and roll damage, sir. Just roll d20 at damage. Jesus.
I'm gonna do a disarming attack, so it'll be
Strength saving throw?
a strength saving throw. My DC is 14.
14. No, it fails.
Okay, so it drops its sword,
Uh-huh.
and that is 13 damage.
Okay.
And then I'm going to action surge. No, wait, I will hit him with my bonus action.
Yeah, I was gonna say you get one more.
That is a 16.
16 just hits. Go ahead and roll damage, sir.
That is a 9.
9. So as you run up, you kind of take the low approach, kind of going under the bushes for a second, and you see the eye kind of see you, and then it loses you for a second, and then as you come up from underneath, the first Marvellius comes up, and as he goes to block it, it kind of hooks the bottom of the thing and just takes the hand off. Very Star Warsian style as the hand flies off. The scimitar goes careening through the air. You see it like the blood just sprays out and it kind of shrieks. Then you go to swing again. It takes a step up. Marvellius going underneath, and then you ram the short sword straight into its gut, and it just stares you in your eyes as it kind of, and then it begins to fall, and it falls over and dies. So that one is gone.
Closest to.
Yes. Hiya.
Welcome to the club.
All right. That is the end of Tam's turn. Next up is Theta.
Oh, shit. If that's the case and I'm right against this guy, I would love to use my Shining Dagger, but it's in a shop getting
Yes.
enchanted.
It is.
So I'm going to riposte with that long sword and take it back down again at it.
Okay. Go ahead and make your attack roll, please.
I could actually get that ability.
Oh, nice!
Natural 20. All right. Go ahead and roll damage. Double all the dice. So
That's.
one. It is sneak attack.
Yes.
Oh my god.
He's still. No, he stood up. But it doesn't matter. You're still within 5 feet. So yeah, it's still
Hold
sneak
on,
attack.
Let me find a second D8. There we go.
Uh-huh.
You've been good.
I do get repulsed.
All
Oh, yeah.
of these dice. It's all gonna be ones.
Wait, that's under the corner.
So, that's card 2. Oh, okay. Why did I roll a D12?
Because you're
That's
feeling
not
cray.
the dice that I thought I grabbed.
Because you're
I
feeling
thought I
cray
grabbed
cray
the
today.
dice. No, there was absolutely a D8 next to that D12 that I somehow pushed further down. Okay, thank you. All right, 11, 13, 22, 26, 29, So 33.
33. So as you take a step back and you artfully just spin your hand and it's like, and then you bring it back forward, and as you do, you see him bring the shield up, and it just goes, and there's like this pause where he drops the shield, and it just cascades through the sword, and then it drops. As there's just this hole neatly placed.
Look at all these dice, chat.
That is the. Anything else?
There's too
Bonus?
many dice. I think I will laugh nervously then.
Okay. And that is the end of your turn. Next up is Ma.
Of course, I throw the dice out of the tray. Both D8s roll an 8. It's no big deal.
Roma.
Go back to 1.
Alright. Right. I'm gonna catch bites.
Alright, go ahead. And it needs to make a saving throw.
No, it just needs to get nothing. Nothing happens.
What is it? 10. So as you bring your hands together, these spectral jaws kind of slam down in front of it, and it just kind of like takes a step back. Lou, you're up.
And then
I will go up to.
You wheel around and. Okay, go ahead and make your attacks.
Oh,
I think the whole thing.
so I'm really disappointed. I got in the
19,
mail finally
13 plus 8.
13 plus 8.
And then a 19 plus
21.
Yes, hits.
Okay, so they both hit.
I got 100-sided dice.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
10.
Oh, is it? I brought it here. That's right. I brought it here before I left. I totally
25
forgot.
points of damage.
25 points of damage. Alright.
Is it still?
No, it's dead.
Okay.
So, as you bring the hammer around, you see that it dodges the spectral teeth that you're used to seeing, and as it pulls back, you just bang, just right in the back of the head, and then you step forward to kind of catch it as it's falling, and just uppercut it with this hammer, and just watch its head kind of like cave in, and you hear like the kind of like smushing as it falls down. Weird. That's cool. They are all in the grave. They're all dead.
In the grave. Can I, as soon as it's quiet, can I like listen to see if I hear anybody else? Oh, I'm sorry.
Reaction.
reaction.
You have a reaction.
Yes. Yes.
You're gonna use it?
Yes.
Go ahead and make your check, sir. Make your Constitution saving throw.
You were communicating. You were saying
10.
10. That is enough. And you already got amphibious from it,
I did.
which means you gain Spitfire. Okay.
Or get caught up in
A
it.
note to anyone rolling the D100, don't roll it in a dice tray. It's too soft to tell the number it lands on, because these polygons are very small. So if you roll on the table, you get a really good roll for it.
Oh, I was wondering. So
Yeah. Because I'm rolling it here, it rolls for a minute, but when it stops, it's very clearly on a certain number.
Okay.
You won't get caught up in the...
Okay. With that being said, combat has been
Oh,
completed.
perfect timing.
So it is 10 o'clock, which means that we are
Nice.
officially donezo. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. I hope you guys enjoyed. We'll pick it up next time with the conclusion of your travel. We should be definitely done next
I'm
time.
happy to be back.
Yeah, welcome
I
back.
had a great vacation.
Good. So we're gonna go down. We'll see you next Monday for sure on Monster Hunter Monday most likely, and then we'll be definitely back next Tuesday for the continuation of this campaign. So,
Wait for EX.
Oh,
see you later, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you like this stream and wanna see it in the future, go ahead and follow. And if you missed part of the episode and you want to catch it up later, it'll be on YouTube pretty soon. So.
please, if you like it enough to sub, which you don't have to, it's cool. If you like it to sub, hop in Discord. We are in there all the time. We talk about literally anything and everything. If you have questions about old, past campaigns, history of this campaign, because there's a lot of history behind it, anything like that, let us know, because we are more than happy to talk about it. We love talking about the characters we made in the world that we played in. So,
All right. So with that being said, gonna disappear. Bye 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 bye.
Oh, bye-bye.
And subbing gives us money, which lets us do other stuff too.